Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very sexy skull-facting edition of Monster Party.
Monster Party.
Monster Party. Monster Party. Ooh, Monster Party. Oh. Wow. So, yes, this is Monster Party.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we've decided to do another episode. Yeah.
Yes,
That's right.
It's very exciting. And we are returning to a topic that is many topics.
Yes.
Topics that are legion.
That's right.
And,
Cornucopia.
that's right. We'll get into more of that later. But before we do that, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN Sheridan.
I'm Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James GONIS.
And for this episode, we are returning to our so popular topic free-for-all. But this edition is very special, for it is topic free-for-all SKULL-POCALYPSE.
Yes!
SKULL-POCALYPSE. Oh, it could be the end, but who knows?
People love this because we move fast.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
It's like many episodes into one. I think this is our eighth topic free for all. By the way, so
and I know what's happening. Listeners at home are going, what's this? Okay, guys, we came up with this concept years ago. I have a giant plastic skull. It's like a Halloween thing you would take around to get your candy in.
Right.
What we did is we put down little mini topics, like little short topics that we could talk about quickly, and
wrote them on paper.
Yeah, and then we put them all in the skull, and we would take one out and say what it is, and we'd have a great little chat. But the funny thing is, we did this literally years ago, and I put the skull in a garage where it rained, and rain came in, and water got in the skull, and made some of these little questions a little moldy. And so I'd empty it out, clean it out, and so as each year has gone by, we've done this show. There have been fewer and fewer moldy ones. And guys, I have to tell you, we're down to our last 4 moldy ones.
Very exciting.
Those 4 are from the very first topic free for all.
And just I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you see
Larry is holding up one of the moldy pieces, and it is indeed
dried.
I can vouch
dried.
it is moldy.
Yeah.
And but now I want to know just very quickly, Larry, the skull that you're using has light up eyes, but they don't really light up anymore, right?
This one does.
This one does. Oh, okay.
Because what happened is I found an exact duplicate of the one the original one I had, because it had rusted and it got gross. So this one does work. So,
cool.
But it's still vintage. It's still vintage.
All right.
And what we've done, listeners, is we have these wonderful guests who have added to our wonderful little topics, and all of those topics are in the skull.
Yes, and we
ready
pick one at random, and we just discuss it.
Yep.
Cool.
But before we get on to this this massive fun that's about to happen, I would like to introduce our guests. We have 2. Yes, 2, dare I say, friends of Monster Party.
Oh.
First up is a man who is no stranger to the topic free for all. He's an acclaimed comedian, writer, producer, and cartoonist who has worked on such projects as The Martin Short Show, Duck Dodgers, The Epic Tales of Captain Underpants, and Beware the Batman. John and I were a writing team on that one. And for many years, he has been creating daily cartoons on cocktail napkins that can be found on the mattanapkin.com site. Please welcome back the force of nature, that is John Matta.
John Matta!
John.
Hello, gents.
And listeners can't see this, but he is dressed for the occasion. He actually dressed up in like a what would you say, Matt?
A druid. He's
Druid priest.
Yeah.
No.
He's bringing back Stonehenge to the
like
set.
a Prince of Darkness.
Yes.
A little bit Grim Reaper.
Well,
Yeah.
what
Grim
you're all
Reaper,
missing, the point you're all missing is this is graduation season, and John is wearing his cap and gown from Satan's School for Girls.
Yes. And who was that voice?
Who is, well, you know what? I'm glad that you asked, Larry, because our other guest, you might remember him from our now legendary horror and sci-fi casting episode. And as a drop-in guest at several Monsterpaloozas, as teased, he is a casting director powerhouse who has provided his services to such shows as That 70s Show, The Middle, Anger Management, Lopez vs. Lopez, and the show I worked on as well, Stand Against Evil. Our guest also teaches the must-attend G. Charles Wright Studio audition workshop that God knows I need to take someday. And, oh no, I'm not good. And if you want to know more about this, go to gcharleswright.com, as I am right now. Please welcome, once again, the delightful and delicious G. Charles Wright.
G. Charles Wright!
Thank you. And Matt, thank you for going to my website, and also thank you for your continued patronage on my OnlyFans account. or as Matt and I call it, my OnlyFan.
Sometimes I just stand outside the house and just peer in.
To make a buck.
Well, you'll run into Mr. Napkin. He is out there.
Mr. Napkin, yeah. So
we are 5 homes from each other. That's why we decided to do it together. It just would have been creepy if we shared a mic.
That would have been creepy, right? It'd be like, I think G should have been behind you, like helping you with your golf swing, kind of a thing.
But we're thrilled to have you guys. I think this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, all right.
And turn the lights on, Larry.
What?
Turn the lights on the skull.
Yeah.
If it works.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Let me turn it on. Oh,
yeah.
There, the lights are on.
It doesn't work.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, it doesn't work.
For listeners, no, it does.
I don't believe you now because you can't prove it.
This is great.
Wow.
Terrific.
Is it a battery issue, Larry? Does it need batteries?
I didn't know.
You want to keep the batteries mint in package?
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I didn't know that I was going to have to perform tonight, and put batteries in it to show you guys the frickin' skull. You guys should just be thrilled that I took all those things
Larry.
and put them on paper.
I'm sorry I put you on the spot. I know how difficult batteries can be.
You guys are so selfish.
I would have liked to see the lights. I would have liked to see the lights light up with every question.
Yeah. Okay.
I have so many. There's so few joys in my life these days. Please.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but that's my middle name. Okay.
Okay.
All
So
what do you guys say we get to the game?
Well, we're off
now,
to a great start.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
So why don't we get this thing going?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's delve into the skull.
Okay.
And everybody understands what's happening, right?
Okay.
I hope so.
So
okay.
I think we should have a guest tell me to stop.
I will pick first.
All right.
Larry,
there you go.
Get in there.
Okay.
Get in there, Larry. Get in there.
I am.
And Larry.
Okay.
Larry.
We're gonna go a little quicker too, John. We're not gonna be okay. Okay, this is an interesting question.
It better be.
Best film. Well, I didn't write it, so
Okay. All right.
Best film with an evil imaginary friend, or worst imaginary friend.
Oh.
Okay. Well, the first thing that popped into my mind was like in the animated cartoon Inside Out, which is it's fantasy. There is a character that is an imaginary friend, but he. And his name is Bing Bong. He's kind of like a giant elephant, and he's a bunch of funky things. And
he's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, yes. But what's really cool is what he actually does something to without giving it away, because I think people should check it out. He kind of does a thing where he kind of sacrifices himself in a way. And it's like you love this little character, and then when he does what he does to kind of advance the story, it's like heartbreaking. But he is the imaginary friend in the film. So that's
is this one or two?
Just one. It's the first one.
The first one.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that popped in my head.
That's a good one.
A good one.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm going to go with my favorite. I'm going to say Harvey.
There you go.
That's a great choice. Excellent choice. Yes.
That's the Citizen
That
Kane
drove
of
me
imaginary
crazy
friend
as a kid because I thought all movies were going to be that insane for the rest of my life. And it really wasn't. And then you got teased by everything in life. Like G and I talked about one time was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Like you're going, whoa, this is crazy what old people did for movies. It's going to be great. And it really wasn't. The Old Lady's Poisoning. What was that one?
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Arsenic and Old Lace was the big. Those were my two big ones. But Harvey remains one of my favorite invisible imaginary friend movies.
But didn't you think? Weren't you hopeful that the rabbit would show up or something? Like
no. I never even as a kid, it just seemed to me whatever I could imagine would always be better than what they did.
Not for Larry. Larry needs it spelled out.
I would have liked
At the end, he needs a card to show up that says, the rabbit was real. Here's what
no rabbits were hurt making this movie.
Not like Night of the Lepus, no.
Anyone else? Imaginary friend?
All right, I got one. Okay. For me, the first thing that I thought of was one of my favorites, and I think kind of an underrated film, Drop Dead Fred.
Oh yeah.
Because I just love Rick Mayall.
He's a genius.
I miss him so.
Yeah.
And whenever he's on the screen, it just lights up. I think because his energy is just so insane and kind of over the top, it maybe rubbed people the wrong way. I don't know. I remember watching Rick Mayall went on Letterman to promote the film.
Mm-hmm.
And Letterman was not getting him at all. And then they show a clip from Drop Dead Fred. And when they came back, Letterman was like, okay, let's go to commercial.
I have been saying it for decades, and Matt, you know it's true. Rick Mayall was no Yahoo Serious.
Wow, I haven't thought of that name.
Wow.
Also, Matt, that film doesn't hurt that film also has Phoebe Cates in it.
Well,
Right.
Yum yum.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't help. It didn't help, but it did hurt.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I would say my imaginary friend movie is probably favorite one would be, I guess, When Harry Met Sally. Am I playing this correctly? Is this the right way to do this? Is that right?
It's kind of to be genre.
They never make eye contact if you pay attention.
I don't think Billy Crystal's really there.
Yeah, he's dead the whole time.
I will say, but
Precursor to The Sixth Sense.
Yes. I will say that I think my favorite of the imaginary friends in the horror genre, Psycho.
Okay. Oh, I can say that. I can see that. Yes.
I get it. I love
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
I know my mommy's my best friend.
The boy's best friend is his mother.
Yeah, I can see that though. Yep.
All
Good
right.
call.
Good. Good.
I would say for me, this would be, well, this is a TV show, but I would say Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Joe Kessler, the CIA operative friend of Butchers in The Boys.
Right. Oh, that was good.
Right.
That is good.
Really
That
good.
that blew me away.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Did
That was so well done because
Yes.
he's already seeing his dead wife, and then he sees Kessler come along, and then there's that moment where Kessler turns to the imaginary wife, says, "Will you shut the fuck up?" Like, holy shit!
Yeah.
He's in his head too.
Oh,
That
Wow.
was genius. And I'm sorry if I ruined it for anybody who hasn't seen that season.
Hey,
Spoiler
Sean,
alert.
Sean, tell us about the Red Wedding.
No. Oh, okay. Oh, hey. That had been out for a while.
Yeah. I figure by now, if you're a fan of The Boys, you would have already seen this. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look,
But that's great.
I haven't had to hear anything from anybody for like over a year, and you have to bring that up. Thanks.
Oh.
James, what about you?
Well, of course, there's Tony from The Shining. Little Danny's little finger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Solid.
Great one.
Not
Is
much
he
is really-
imaginary, though?
Well,
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean,
you could say that not much is really done with that concept, but there it is, and it's intriguing, and it sets something up. So
That's great. I
James,
love it.
Is it explored more in the book, Tony?
I honestly don't remember, but I don't think so. Probably, yeah, he probably comes in a little bit more often than the movie.
Okay.
All right.
That's good, though.
That was good. That was a good round.
I loved it.
Nice. That was
All right.
excellent. Good start.
So, okay, so Mr. Wright, how about
Yeah.
you? Just tell me
Go,
when.
go.
Now, okay.
Good job.
All right. So here is question. Oh, what's the celebrity death that hit me hardest?
Celebrity death. Like
Yeah.
in real life?
That
real life.
It
Yeah.
says celebrity death that hit me hardest. Personally, for me, people have passed away that I've felt, oh, that's sad. Oh, but they had a good life. When Ben Chapman, who played the land creature from the Black Lagoon, I had just met him like that year. And he was so warm and friendly and charming. And he just seemed so full of life. And I was hoping to see him like a third time or something. There was a convention that was coming up, that the following year that he was scheduled to do. And it was announced that he had passed away. And I was just devastated. I was really depressed because it was like, meeting the guy who played the land creature. And you guys know how much I love the creature. And that's,
Sure.
and he was, when I met him the first time, he was just wonderful. So, and posed with me, got pictures, and he was just a lovely, lovely man. And I just thought the guy had more time, but that was devastating to me. That was, I want to say maybe it was like 2008 or 10 or somewhere around there. But yeah, that's the one that hit me the most.
Okay.
Anyone?
With Matt Weinhold, we went to Monster Palooza and we got to meet that Haru. I forget his last name.
Nakajima.
Oh, her Nakajima. Yeah.
In the
That's
Godzilla
that's a
suit.
good one.
And
The original
I remember,
Godzilla.
it was funny. I mentioned it to Ken Daly when I met him. I started crying. I don't know why my emotions got so weird because I'm filled with glass and spiders. But it was just such a weird thing of a guy who was there my entire life.
Yeah.
So I think he died in like 2017, 18, 19, one of those years.
Yeah.
He lived for quite a while. Yeah.
And what's so
And he
touching-
wasn't in great shape when we saw him.
No,
he
no,
was just
No, but
he was older, and his daughter would go with him to help him out and stuff. We had August Ragone on our show.
August Ragone.
Yeah, August Ragone, who had helped set that up.
Yeah.
And what was really, really touching was, he never thought that doing that, being the Godzilla guy, being the guy that he never thought it would amount to much. And he and his daughter expressed so much gratitude to especially Americans who were just, they treat him like a rock star.
Well, that's the thing too, is that towards the end of his life, he didn't realize that he had this kind of fandom in the States.
Yes,
and so when he was brought over, he's treated like a king, and and this happened to a lot of other Japanese like tokusatsu actors and actresses.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really love about Monster Palooza is that they were the ones who got everybody from the original Ultraman to come over. And
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, amazing.
But it broke me up in a weird way when I heard he died. It was like I was surprised that I went, oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
What's beautiful is the last time we saw him, he didn't know any English. And but his daughter helped us. We filmed him saying Monster Party. And
holy shit!
Yeah, it's great.
We actually have that little clip, and it was really a thrill. It just made our day. And
that's a goodie.
Yeah, that's a good one.
A legend. Come on, I mean,
very good.
Nice one, John.
G.
Well, this is a weird one for me to answer because this is a fun podcast, and I, not to brag, know a lot of celebrities. And I also have known, my life is surrounded by dead bodies. So I know I have had 5 great, very close friends, all dead. I've worked with so many wonderful people, all dead. And I don't want to get too weird about it. So I will say, because I was just thinking about this earlier today, I saw a picture of Don Knotts as Mr. Furley. and I hired Don Knotts for his last job.
Really?
Wow.
Oh man.
We had him. I got him for an episode of that '70s show where he basically was playing Mr. Furley. In the last season of the show, Jackie and Fez are roommates. They live in an apartment, and we did an episode where he was their landlord.
Wow.
It was like a fantasy episode, and so he wore the outfit. And
nice.
he came and shot. They had 2 scenes that they shot with him. They shot him without the audience. They shot it the day before the audience came in. So we had 2 scenes to shoot. Pretty short. I think maybe he would have been there for about, maybe 2.5, 3 hours tops. But he was there for about 8 hours, because when he was done, everybody wanted a photo with Don Knotts and to talk to Don Knotts. And so he stayed in his Mr. Furley outfit and talked to people for hours afterwards.
Really?
And I, as a general rule, don't talk to the guest stars and stuff when I hire my shows. There's a lot of people that I've hired that are famous that I really admire, but I would not speak to them. They would not know I was there. I am like the Phantom of the Opera of casting directors. I'm kidnapping young women and taking them underground, is what I'm saying. Under the soundstage, and then you don't see. And I play an organ.
It's nice when your hobby is your job.
It truly is. It truly is. You do what you love. You know what? I never feel like I've worked a day in my life. But I did take a photo with Don Knotts, and then it turned out to be his last job. He died just a few months later.
Wow.
It's when you get to drop one of his movies on somebody who hasn't seen The Ghost of Mr. Chicken or something.
Yeah.
It's such a fun feeling to do, where they go, I didn't know this existed. You wish you could pull it out of your brain and watch it again for the first time. But every time I watch it, I still enjoy it as much almost as the first.
Me too. Yeah.
Ghost of Mr. Chicken is like, that's the one that a lot of people, everyone knows Three's Company and they know the Andy Griffith show. But like, to me, Ghost of Mr. Chicken is like I'll talk about his Citizen Kane, it's like the top of his game. And I mean, so many funny gags in that thing all the way through. And
Love God.
Beautiful. Love God's great. Yeah, I love. That's another great one.
And he had a whole career for a while in like the late '60s. There, making
that
films
guy,
too,
kinda,
like the Reluctant Astronaut and stuff.
Sure.
He had a bunch of those.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Wouldn't you agree though? The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. That's
the way.
It's perfect.
When that came on as a kid, it's like, we're watching Ghost of Mr. Chicken. When people forget, it's not just funny. It's got some creepy stuff in it. It's really good. That's what I liked about it, believe it or not.
It's scary. But there's also, I mean, like, just for an example, there's that scene when he's waiting to sit down in the diner and he's waiting for a guy to finish his meal. But he wants to talk to the girl, so he's just standing at the table. And of course he orders soup. chicken noodle soup, and he's just, and then he notices the guy listening to his conversation and goes, are you almost done? He goes, I'm on my Jello. Great.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
That's a great one. That's so good.
Anyone else?
Well, I have one. This was just last year, actually, that strangely affected me, because this is a guy who really helped create and was, to me, the heart of a TV series that was literally probably my absolute favorite comedy series, and that is Joe Flaherty from SCTV. Because Joe Flaherty is someone who, John Candy and Rick Moranis and so many, and Catherine O'Hara, of course, all of those guys, and they went on to become very successful and more famous in movies. And Joe Flaherty didn't really. I mean, he never achieved that kind of fame that most of his SCTV co-stars did, but he was so great. And he, like I said, he was kind of the heart of SCTV. And I just loved him. I all his characters. I mean, of course, Count Floyd, aka Floyd Robertson, Guy Caballero, Sammy Maudlin, Big
Jimmy
Jimmy
Maudlin.
yeah. I mean, yeah, and all he was just fantastic. He always made me smile every time he came on screen. I actually, when I first moved out to California, I worked for a while at the William Morris Agency in the mailroom, and he was a client. And one time I was just walking through the lobby, and he was just leaving. I saw him. He goes, "Hey, it's Guy Caballero." He just immediately went, "Yes, yes."
Oh my God!
Stick, and then just walked out. It was like, oh my God. So great. I mean, he was fantastic. And SCTV is still my favorite comedy sketch parody show ever.
Nice one, Sean.
So there you go.
Terrific.
Good one.
Nice. Well, along the lines of Haruo Nikojima, Akira Takarada, who was in the first Godzilla film,
Right.
was also making the convention circuit, and Matt and I met him at G-Fest in Chicago years ago, and I had him do a shout out to Monster Party, and he did several takes. He was a real sport. And he was walking around the hotel, and he walked by the bar, and we bought him a beer, and it was just so cool. But he gave us his business card. His
that's
main
right.
sheet. And
Wow.
I treasured it, and I kept it. And I thought, okay, next time we go to Japan, we're gonna hang with Akira Takarada. And then he passed, and he, and he seemed to be in such great shape, and he seemed so youthful and vibrant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when that happened, it knocked me for a loop.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, and that card is one of my most prized possessions.
Yeah, mine too.
Let's go.
I'll
Let's
frame
go.
Nice.
Okay, well, I already brought up Rick Mayall, and that one hit me pretty hard because he was, I think, fairly young, and he had suffered from this accident that affected his health. But he was just this ball of energy and bigger than life personality, and I was very sad when he died. But the first thing that really came to my mind when this topic was announced, the person is Joey Ramone.
Yeah.
Because I'm a giant Ramones fan, and I felt Joey was the heart of the Ramones. And when he died, it's like, even if they get another singer, it's never going to be the same. Without Joey, it's not the Ramones.
Yeah.
And so when he died, it was like the Ramones died. And so that really hit me. And I was lucky enough to see the Ramones several times throughout my life. And they were always amazing, always great, always put on a great show. Man, I miss him. I miss all of them to this day. At least we have Marty still.
Yeah.
Well, that was weird the year that Prince and David Bowie died, because they were two artists that spoke to people that usually just don't fit into anything else, even though how huge they were. Guys that reinvented themselves, also guys that too did what they wanted to do.
Right.
It was a weird year, you know, going, oh, those are two goodies when there's so many more that I would have liked to have left this planet.
And Prince really out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was shocking.
Well, he did not like doctors, and he thought medication would take care of everything. So it'll
It
get
doesn't?
you.
Well, I guess.
I mean, I got 5 Vikes in me right now, and I feel absolutely fine. I just have to sleep, standing up.
Look a brother up.
I guess we can learn a valuable lesson. That's a very good round there. Okay?
That was a great.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, so who wants to go next? Sean, you want to give?
Okay. Okay. Wait for it. Now.
Oh, those eyes really light up. Wow. Holy cow. I almost went into a seizure.
All right. Okay. So this one says, which horror, sci-fi, or fantasy film remake did you hate the most?
Oh.
This topic does not include prequels or sequels. All right.
Remakes
So
only.
Remake.
Sci-fi.
Let's see. Okay.
Remake.
Okay. I gotcha.
I got to think about that.
Sean, do you have one?
Oh yeah, I have one.
Okay.
Go.
I'm sure Larry's not gonna like it, but man, I was so disappointed in this film. I can't believe how many accolades and positive word of mouth this movie got. 2024's Nosferatu.
Really, Sean?
Oh my God! Yes, really, Larry. This talk about a pretentious, self-important, overindulgent slog of a fucking movie. This movie takes itself so seriously. From the first minute to the last, every performance is at 11. It's the kind of movie that every scene it's telling you how terrifying it is. There's nothing new or amazing with the remake aspect of it. It's just the same story. There's nothing, they don't do anything special with. It's just a straight remake. But what you do add is terrible. But most importantly, though, Nosferatu himself is not scary. He's ludicrous. And talk about
He's played by Ludacris.
The rapper?
That is horrible.
As soon as you see, I mean, I laughed out loud when I saw him. They build up so much to you finally seeing him, and it's a terrible design. He's not scary. The movie's just plain not scary. But worst of all is like the original film, the silent movie, right?
Yeah.
This movie is the most loquacious Nosferatu you'll ever see. He talks the way he talks like this. And
He's scary, Sean.
And it's terrible. And all the cinephiles are all over. Oh, it's so. No, it's a bad fucking movie, people. I love The Witch.
I trust you, Sean.
I love some of the other directors' movies, but I'm sorry, this is a complete failure. I cannot believe so many people gush over this film. It's terrible.
Okay,
but Sean, when Phoebe Cates gets nude, though, that's a pretty good.
If only Phoebe Cates were in this film.
I don't think that's in the film, Matt. No, I would suggest you see it, Matt.
Of course you do, Larry,
I will
because it was nominated for awards and it got.
Sean,
And why was Judge Reinhold masturbating
Sean, I
in
saw
it?
it with some young people, some young people.
What are you talking about?
The young people.
And yeah, kids today who see films and they were creeped out.
Really?
And there's a lot.
Larry, did you find Nosferatu scary? Yeah. What about you, Larry?
I did.
You thought he was scary. You thought that mustache was terrifying.
I thought it was a unique choice. I thought it was a.
But it's not just that. He's just not scary.
And now you just told Matt that there's a mustache in it.
Everybody,
I'm out.
Stick to the original. Stick to the original silent film. It's great.
It's like if they made him look exactly like how he looks like in the silent film.
It's not even that. It's just it's not scary.
I thought
they have the female character. She's supposed to be kind of like affected by him from across the land.
Yes.
So they have this whole indulgent, like she's possessed by. It's like an exorcist scene. It's so ridiculous.
I thought it was.
Oh my God! Nobody talks or acts like a normal person. It's just my God.
But to be fair, Larry, you thought Zapped was frightening. So
I'm just going to
Willie
go out on a
Ames
limb
is
and
terrifying.
Look.
How can you make a joke?
Okay, I think you've beat up on the film enough. Okay.
No, not enough.
Okay, all right, shut it down.
Then I'll go.
So Sean, let me tell you this. Okay, here's mine. Okay, so I'm a fan of The House on Haunted Hill, the classic version with Vincent Price.
Well,
there was a remake. Okay. By a very decent filmmaker, and I thought it was cast well, but there were things in the film that just bugged the hell out of me because I think he was trying to make it more supernatural, whereas The House on Haunted Hill, it's like it doesn't necessarily have that element in it. It's like they're supposed to scare you. It's supposed to scare you, and you think something's real, but it's not. But in the later version, they tried to put a little supernatural into it, and that's what bothered me about it. So
because in the original, it was you find out there's not really anything really maybe supernatural. You don't really know.
And I wanted them to stick with that, but it's like things are explained, like a skeleton with the wires on it, or things like that. But that was the one. So the newer version of The House on Haunted Hill, that was the one I did not like. I was not.
I don't think I ever saw that actually.
Along those lines, I would go with the remake of The Haunting with Liam Neeson, which for some reason I paid to see in a theater. Maybe for the Jerry Goldsmith score. I don't know, but I walked out less than halfway through. It was just like, oh, this is horrible. This is just a mess.
Yeah, CGI, terrible CGI. Yeah.
that was what I thought of first. It was that Haunting, because to me the Haunting is a perfect example of how to get everything wrong in a remake. Like everything, and then it was made at a time when like CGI was still struggling to find its way, and they over relied on the CGI. And correct me if I'm wrong, James. I don't know if you remember this, but isn't there a scene where at one point the house itself, or like a part of the house, gives like an evil grin, like the fireplace looks like eyes and a mouth, and it kind of goes, "Arr." And I'm just like, this is fucking HR Puffin stuff. This is not.
And the original, the Robert Wise original, was so much about subtlety. You know, that was
It's
the
all
whole
atmosphere
And scary.
Yeah.
James, when you walk out of a theater, do you let the audience know that you're leaving because you're outraged?
I go, fuck
How do you
this.
leave? Do you get up and go, no? Or do you do it quietly and scamper out?
Fuck this. I'm going home.
Nice.
Do you chastise the audience? Do you like
don't make a big
talk?
scene.
Yeah.
You're all idiots.
You're next.
All right.
You're next.
Okay, anyone else?
I would just because I feel just as strongly about it, I'm going to hop on Sean's bandwagon
What?
and
Wow.
tell you,
Yay!
but with one twist.
Okay.
I agree with every single thing Sean said, and I will go even further to say that Robert Eggers is a director that I have admired. I have enjoyed all of his other films.
Me too.
Yeah.
And this one missed the mark in all of the ways that Sean said. And so many people that I've talked to, I mean, love it so much they want to marry it. And I, at 100%, hated it. But I will say that I do love the German remake with Klaus Kinski.
Klaus
and his-
Kinski,
Oh,
right,
yes,
right,
yes.
yeah.
Werner Herzog. Yes,
So,
I agree. It's great.
Werner Herzog made, there are two versions of his Nosferatu. One is English. They do the whole thing in English, and then in German. And the English one is not great. But the one that they do in German is fantastic. And of course, because Nosferatu is the Dracula story made without the rights to Dracula, right? The great thing about Herzog's version is it is Dracula. So he's Count Dracula, there's Renfield, everybody's got the names. They pull on it. And so then when Eggers makes his movie, I kind of felt like, it is Dracula. Why go back to all those names? And so many of the younger people I talked to, the ones who were scratching their heads about the movie would say, I really liked it, but I mean, isn't it Dracula? It feels like it's the same story. I'm all, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No,
right.
no
But
shit.
there's no explanation.
Yeah.
It does fall under the category for me of Universal monster head scratching because Universal Studios has been saying, for decades now that they're remaking their classic monster movies.
Right. They keep fucking it up.
They keep fucking up, and they thought, oh, I know, we'll start with The Mummy because we already just did The Mummy, so let's do The Mummy again, right?
Yeah.
So horrible idea, and but then people would come in like this. I thought when this Nosferatu was getting made, I thought, oh, this must be part of the universe,
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no,
The monster.
no. Or when Del Toro made Shape of Water, it's like, oh, this must be the new take on Creature from the Black. Nope.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. I've said it many times. It's amazing how incredibly stupid Universal Studios is when it comes to this incredibly valuable property of the historically classic monsters of cinema. They can't fucking get right.
No.
See, that's why I would pick
It's an embarrassment.
every Wolfman movie since the original. Horrible.
I don't know.
I would disagree.
Everyone in color.
I would say that
I do kind of like the 2010 one a bit.
I would say also though I just watched the Blumhouse one, and it was not as bad as I thought it would be.
Oh, that's
that's a raise.
That's not a ringing endorsement.
No, I'm saying, but I'm saying I thought it was. I mean, no. The problem with it was that
I thought a turd burger would make me sick.
But the problem was that it was completely predictable. There was like nothing really like okay, that's it. But I thought the werewolf I thought there was interesting elements to it. But I'd still say it was a better it was a more successful attempt at a classic monster than Nosferatu was.
There
I'm
are-
not saying it was great, but
There are two giveaways that a horror movie is going to be a piece of shit, and one is if Bill Skarsgård is going to be sitting in a makeup chair for 5 hours a day.
Boom.
So we knew
Man.
going into Nosferatu. And
Right.
Skarsgård, that's not good. That's not a good sign. History already tells me this is going to be terrible.
No.
And the other is Blumhouse.
Blumhouse, I would say that it depends. I mean, they don't have a great track record. I think I went because I heard such horrible things about Wolfman. I watched on streaming at home with my wife. Like, okay, let's check it out. Seeing it that way, it didn't.
Were you high? Did you
Maybe.
maybe
Maybe,
yes.
But it didn't offend me. It didn't offend me the way Nosferatu.
What if you paid $20 a ticket? What if you paid $20 a ticket? How would you have felt that?
But see, G. Charles, you're on the same. You're on the same line of thinking that I am, which Larry vehemently disagrees with me, and that is the It movies. So overrated, it's unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah,
those
overrated.
were great. No.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely terrible.
Again, in movies that say, "Look how terrifying we are," they threw
John.
everything at the kitchen sink.
John, you're
Yeah, because there's
so
nothing more terrifying than a
old
giant
and
CGI
dated.
lumberjack running around after you.
It's so.
Wait a minute,
it's
what?
Such a great film. Look,
God,
for
it's so
listeners-
bad.
Keep talking.
So bad.
for listeners out there, I mean, I'm sure you've heard Sean like beat up on Nosferatu, Mr.
Now
Right.
we're beating up
Rightly
on
so.
But
Rightfully
I
so.
think the
Yes.
film has some really. I think it's a really neat film. Maybe you should just see it for yourself.
Maybe read the original book, or how about even watch the '90s miniseries, which looks better and better every year compared to the movies.
Go-
Yeah, that's true.
Go watch the Murnau version. Imagine,
course,
hey,
yeah, that's what-
kids,
yes.
why
That's
don't you
great.
try a silent movie?
It's
Yeah.
scary as
That
hell.
one is scary as fuck.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So John or Matt, do you guys have a film you want to beat up on now?
Well, I mean, I'm just going to throw this one out there. The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
You're the Keanu Reeves, right?
Yes.
No, the original. What the fuck? Get your head in the game.
Matt, I'm going to agree with you.
Good.
I'm
Thank
going
you.
to agree with you.
And I
You
like
have to
I'm
get your
always
head in the game.
There's some films that just don't need to be remade.
That's true.
There-
Yes.
you know.
yeah.
And I'm always rooting for Keanu. I always want him to
Yeah,
succeed.
yeah.
But this, I mean, none of it worked. And
No.
Yeah.
Early role for John Hamm in that film.
Oh.
Yeah,
Who's
I
good
wish-
in everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Sure.
that's true. John,
Mission Impossible Mummy.
Yeah, for sure.
Good choice.
What?
Good choice.
Mission Impossible, Mummy.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise mummy.
Tom Cruise.
Oh,
No,
so the
Larry.
Mummy-
Larry, that shared universe with Mission Impossible and the Universal Monsters. Did you miss that?
Okay,
It's nice to see a mummy run
but see, John,
with the arms,
we know,
you know?
we know what the problem was. It wasn't when Tom Cruise got involved. It was less about the Mummy. It was more about him.
And it was
Well,
trying to do the MCU thing with the Universal
Yeah.
Monsters, which is stupid.
Well, when I heard he was in it, I assumed that he would be the mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he the mummy?
Shockingly, he's not. Are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
He's
I-
1,000 years old.
Yeah.
How is he not? And he is a terrifying fucking monster.
Oh, wow!
How is he not the mummy?
Wow!
I was hoping for kind of a risky business scene with the mummy sliding across the floor,
Dun, 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 dun.
unraveling, to Bob Seger.
No,
I like that I said Tom Cruise is a terrifying fucking monster, and you guys all shit yourselves. Jesus fucking Christ, you guys!
I was agreeing.
Are you waiting for a job for him to call you for a job? Tom Cruise isn't calling you for a job.
that is
Hey,
true.
you know what?
And he
what
is a
else-
monster.
whatever, G. Whatever. That's on you, man.
Somehow he has made Simon Pegg less cool.
Oh,
Look, hey,
I know what
He
you
has
mean.
made Simon Pegg
look,
a lot richer.
In fairness,
Yes.
Yeah.
In fairness, the
Scientology?
No, I know. I wasn't going to go there. I was going to say, in fairness, his films are, they're big, they're brash, they need to be seen on a big screen. And I applaud what he did, holding on to the the Top Gun film, letting it wait until after COVID goes down so people can go see it in the theaters, because it was great to see that in the movie theater.
It was great to walk out of the theater halfway through that movie.
Okay.
And
Did you run into James?
and take my mask off.
The last thing I want to say about the Mummy is, yes, Mr. Wright, it would have been great if Tom decided to take a risk and be the Mummy. That would have been really cool. That would have been
I
neat.
like it.
And,
I like it.
And let someone else be the hero. But that's not necessarily his brand, and I get it. And we have a big...
Or just make a better movie.
Yeah, I mean that movie was
You know
so
what I mean?
misguided from
Anybody could have been the Mummy. Just make a better movie. He made a Tom Cruise movie. He made like the first Reacher movie with a monster in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that, like, to me, all the Mission Impossible films is not even that they're not well crafted movies and all that. It's just that they're not Mission Impossible. They've never been Mission Impossible.
It's not Mission Impossible.
Vehicles for Tom Cruise to do stunts. That's it. And the thing is, I haven't seen all the films, but the ones I've seen, they don't stick with me. They're not memorable to me. I don't remember the plot. Like I always thought, like, wouldn't it be cool if, like, because I loved the Mission Impossible TV series. It was a genius TV series.
Yeah.
And what if they actually made a real Mission Impossible movie, or even a new series that is an ensemble cast, not a Tom Cruise vehicle? Like
in some strange way, the Fast and the Furious movie franchise more closely resembles Mission Impossible than the Mission Impossible movie.
Huh. Nice. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, it's a group of people. They get together and they
each have their specialty. Right.
And okay, impossible missions.
I kind of wish
guys, answer me this. Why wasn't Tom Cruise in Battlefield Earth? Right? The one fucking movie he belongs in.
Really? Yeah.
Nothing.
Wow.
He's not. Listen, I will say this. I'm not. I am somebody that can separate the art from the artist, and I do enjoy from time to time a Tom Cruise movie.
Me too.
Sure. I think he can be really great.
Absolutely. But yeah, that. Oof.
It's kind of like I resent the fact that Tom Cruise hijacked the Mission Impossible IP and turned it into something completely different from what the show is.
Absolutely, me too.
You know, that's because now generations and generations from now, they just think of that as Mission Impossible, which is not what it was.
Do you remember the first Mission Impossible movie that he made, where he basically just takes all of the characters from Mission Impossible and turns them all into backstabbing villains?
Yeah, including Mr. Phelps.
Yes.
Yeah. It was like really?
What?
I
was out.
What was sad though, see, Sean, you bring up a good point, because there's a clip of when there's MTV has this woman out there, and she's young, and she's interviewing people who who were in the film, and she's waiting for Tom Cruise, and here comes Martin Landau.
It was Kennedy. It was Kennedy. That's who was interviewing him.
Okay, so you remember this?
Really?
Yes, I do remember it.
Martin and this woman had no idea who Martin Landau was. He was.
She's now a Fox News.
Are you kidding?
Journalist.
Yeah. Okay,
she is.
But give an idea of how bad she is at her job.
Okay, well, the point being was that she was this attractive gal, for kind of hipster kind of a thing, and Sean, she was from that younger crowd, and
great,
she had
no idea
concept. So unfortunately, yes, Sean, that is what people think now.
I would say, like, young people out there, just check out like a couple early seasons of Mission Impossible from the 60s.
Yeah. Larry is trying to categorize Kennedy from MTV as a part of the younger generation. That woman is 50. So, but it wasn't that young people didn't know. She was just an idiot who didn't know what the fuck her job was.
Right.
And so she's on the red carpet at the Mission Impossible movie, and Martin Landau comes up, and she asked him, she said, "Oh, it seems strange that you would be here. What brings you to the Mission Impossible premiere?"
Oh my God.
Simply based on the fact that he was 1,000 years old,
and she kept calling him Ed Wood, which was weird.
And he read her on the red carpet. He gave her shit.
Oh, really?
Shit about
is this on YouTube? I gotta find this. Wow.
No,
you can find it, but
So he's feisty. I can only imagine.
He was always very.
A similar situation at the Playboy Mansion, where a playmate called him Mr. Mathau. And he was visibly pissed off at her. He was
Oh my
offended.
god!
Wow.
Doc.
Do you remember when they
Wow.
cut the music on him at the Oscars?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he went,
That's
"Hey!"
Yeah. Okay.
I do remember laughing though when I was watching the red carpet Mission Impossible red carpet event on MTV when that I did watch that, and because I loved Mission Impossible, so I was super excited about the movie coming out, and I do remember thinking that was so great that he yelled at her and really called her out on being shitty at her job, and then my next thought was, well, bitch, I guess you shouldn't have quit the show. Maybe if you'd fucking stayed on more than a few seasons. Remember, he left in Space 1999.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
Him and Barbara Payne left.
Wait, and by the way, and Landau and Bain were known to have been really a lot of a pain in the ass with Jerry Anderson on Space 1999.
By the way, if you ever get to look at the Blu-ray set of Space 1999, like I have, there is a great interview with Sylvia Anderson where all she does is shit on fucking Martin Landau and Barbara Bain and how terrible they were.
Nice.
Oh, sure. They had to know the entire time. As soon as they got there, they're like, "Oh fuck, what did we do?"
Well, especially when they get to the second season, because the second season, I can almost say, I don't blame you for complaining, because that was a horrid season.
It's like every time you see him on the screen, it's like, wait a minute, I'm the lead?
All right. So we've covered this topic pretty well. So what?
But everything was forgiven from him when he showed up on Entourage.
So what do you say? So Sean's got James. Why don't you pick one now?
Okay, keep digging. Let's see. Keep digging. Okay, stop.
Okay, and I've taken it out, and the question is, what monster deserves a breakfast cereal, and what would it be called?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know right off the bat.
Okay.
The creature from the Black Lagoon deserves a breakfast cereal, and I think it would be called something like Creature Crunch. And
I like it.
Like little green flakes, like little scales, and it'd have like little green marshmallows or something.
Would it be fish flavored?
No, not fish flavored, but they'd be like little pink and yellow fish in there. So it's like his
fish,
So it would be
fish marshmallows.
Fish marshmallows, and
like
maybe they taste like Swedish fish or something like that.
Fish, okay.
Yeah, but I think the
try it.
creature deserves a breakfast cereal. So
I got mine, which would be Evil Deadios. It's poured out, and then it shoots around the room and goes right into your mouth.
Love it.
That's a great one.
I've got mine.
Yeah.
Reese's Human Centipieces.
I can't even.
And they hook together. You know, that's the fun. When you got them in the bowl, you can hook them together.
Yeah, it's like alphabets. Right.
So is it like people? Is it like little people that you put
Little humanoid shape.
So imagine and
they're
each
on all
one,
fours.
Yeah.
Is it like spaghetti where you'd have to slurp it all up in one way?
Yeah, no, that's the fun. You make a line and then you just suck them all up.
What's it taste like?
What do you think?
There would be the commercial will be with two kids doing a Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah. Right. I would say it tastes like dark chocolate and corn.
Okay, that almost made me throw up in my mouth.
I've got his
very good.
Great.
You guys, Sean just passed me this answer. Nosferatos.
Ah, yeah.
It's
in the shape of disappointment.
In the shape of dried marshmallow mustaches.
Yes. Skull, yes. Okay, mine would be Darkos, based on Donnie Darko.
Oh, stop!
It would be listen. It would be that the cereal would be like rabbit, little bunny head, and the marshmallows would be in the shape of a airplane engine. Because the airplane,
That's
airplane is
good.
just what falls on it. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
The whole room shakes as you're eating it.
Yes. Yes.
Is it rabbit? Is it rabbit flavored?
Yes.
James.
How about Pazuzu Toast Crunch?
I like that. I like that.
Pazuzu.
I
And
love
are they
that
are they
cereal.
shaped like the statue?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Wow.
Including the you know what?
Hey,
Oh,
you,
yeah. Oh,
you,
of
you
course.
can't make it like totally like that, right? What, it goes into like a mold and makes a bunch of little ones like that?
Sure.
Or is
Yeah.
it just a silhouette?
So they would be shaped like this,
Silhouette.
you mean?
Hey, perfect.
Oh, baby.
Sean is holding
Tickles
up
the
his
tongue.
original
Wow.
statue. Of Pazuzu.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Awesome.
Man, suddenly I want a bowl and some milk.
See, that was
But not
look
to
at these-
eat. But
you
not
know-
to eat.
Hey,
No, just to rest my feet in.
are you listening, Kellogg's? Are you listening? All right, Matt.
Go.
Okay, it's an old one.
Moldy.
Ah.
It's an old
Moldy.
one. Okay.
Mary Pickford.
No, not like that. Name a genre film with great potential that you feel was ruined by studio interference or a troubled production.
Oh,
Wow.
ruined,
Interesting.
ruined.
Yeah. Whose printing is this? It's very
That's not mine.
Anyway, so name a genre film with great potential that you feel was ruined by studio interference or a troubled production.
Uh,
I got one. I got one.
Okay.
Day of the Dead, George Romero, which had an original screenplay that was way more ambitious, but he could not get a studio to finance it because it was also extremely gory and could only have been released unrated. And no studio would have produced that film. So he had to go with the final product that we've seen, Day of the Dead, which is not a bad film necessarily, and it's aged,
No.
I think, really well.
yeah.
But it definitely suffered from that history. It would have been a completely different movie if he had been able to do what he wanted to.
I think if you took out a couple of actors, replaced a couple actors in that movie, it would be a lot better.
It's a movie a lot,
The two soldier guys who are like the Wheeler and Woolsey of the Day of the Dead.
The chewing the scenery. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. How about Batman and Robin?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think, look, you're coming off of Burton's two films, and then you've got this. It's like, oh my gosh, I remember being so excited that you got a different guy playing Batman, and you're going to have Robin and Batgirl. It sounded like it was cast well. It was really good, but just I guess what the studio and the director wanted, it just got a little too goofy.
Yeah.
So what about that
Yeah.
one? Was
Yep.
Who
that
directed the Val Kilmer one? Because that falls between the Burton ones and
Is that Schumacher?
Schumacher, yeah.
It's Schumacher.
That's
He did both.
also
so
that's
he
also
also
god awful.
he also did Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my wife and I recently watched. It's funny because I think Matt, it was when we had Dana Gould on for one of our podcast episodes recently. Last time we had him on, he talked about the Batman films and how the second Batman film, the one with Catwoman and Penguin, is kind of overlooked and underrated. And we watched that again. I agree, like that. That's the one where Burton had better control and had better ease what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I think that movie, it works still better as a Tim Burton movie than a Batman movie, but it's just more entertaining. It's fun.
I
more
agree.
than the first one, which is super clunky. The first one.
I
But then-
completely agree.
But the Val Kilmer and the George Clooney ones, we literally can't even get through.
No.
They're so painfully awful.
Yeah.
It's jarring when you watch them now. It's like I say, like during that period, stick with that second Burton film. It's good.
Mhm.
It's really fun.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of Tim Burton, I don't know if this was necessarily ruined by the studio, or I don't know really what went wrong, but it's also a remake, and that would be Planet of the Apes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know what went wrong there, but that was just a disaster.
Yes.
And
yes.
and also, they're trying to. There was the thing with Tim Burton saying, well, we're not really telling the story. It's reimagined. To me, it's like they're trying to justify it.
I fucking hate that term too.
No, it's basically the same story.
Yeah.
Reimagine something good if you're going to reimagine.
I mean, Matt, we saw that when it opened.
We
Man,
did,
I was so
did.
looking forward to it. I was so excited.
Me too, Sean. Me too.
And then we just ambled out of the theater at the end. Oh God,
Sean, it's the same thing that happened when we went to see the premiere of Phantom Menace. Was
in the same theater, I think. Yeah,
situation. We both there was 10 minutes in, and I looked to Sean. Sean looks at me, and it was like someone told us that they just shot our dog. Like it was like
Santa Claus isn't real.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, it's terrible. Well, here's one that I wouldn't say this is a train wreck of a movie, but it certainly was a disappointment. It's a movie that kind of just sat there and it should have been good. It had all the pedigree to be good, and that was from 2011, Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, right.
Directed by John Favreau, who I love, who has a great track record. Harrison Ford, Daniel Craig, Olivia Wilde. It should have been great. It was based on a very popular graphic novel, I believe. That was very.
Yes.
Lee Hess's in it as well.
That's right.
And how do you go wrong? I mean, Cowboys and Aliens, those stars, but it had effects, and they spent a ton of money on it. The effects are cool, but it just kind of sat there. It wasn't memorable. It just didn't click, and it should have. And I said, it's not like it's an embarrassment, but it's almost worse because it's just kind of like right in the middle there. It's like.
Do you think he tried to bring the improv-y stuff that he did from Iron Man to it?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but like I said, I mean, Favreau has made some great movies, and he knows how to handle huge budgets and big stars. But this one, it just didn't click, man.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Aliens 3, the Fincher one.
Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up.
With you.
But you can't. It's hard to tell though. I would have loved to see the movie that Fincher wanted to make if he could make it at the budget that he wanted to. Because it seemed like he figured out all the technical stuff to do their notes, but then was never allowed to do anything else.
Right. And unfortunately, across the board, pretty much you can say that for all the Alien sequels in the whole franchise.
Yeah, from 3 on, it's
talk about
not
disappointing
so
franchise.
But
man.
don't you think 3 stands out, Sean? I mean, to me, 3. I remember being so angry, upset.
Well, many of us have said, if they didn't call it, if it wasn't part of an Alien franchise and just made a monster
been a little more
on a
interesting,
prison planet. Yeah.
Might have been better. We wouldn't have had any expectations at all. And then you wanted to see the guy who did District 9 who was going to do Aliens.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to just see the storyboard movie.
Yeah, really.
Well, I think Dana at one point gave me the script to Alien Resurrection, the first one, the Joss Whedon script.
Oh.
And that was a great script. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that the aliens come to Earth, and so you get that, and then they made that movie, and I don't know what really bothered me about 3, and I understand somebody wants to take a film franchise and maybe it's a new director, they want to put their own stamp on it and move it in their direction, but to completely negate what happened before that, it's like
slap in the face.
Like you make Star Wars, and then in the beginning of The Empire Strikes Back, you get a little preamble that says, "Oh yeah, by the way, Luke Skywalker and Han Solo were killed."
Yeah,
and yay, let's enjoy this new chapter. And it's just like, really, we went through that whole experience with Aliens. Then that's what you give us, and it just seems like it's cheap. You didn't even show us that.
Agreed. True.
Doesn't it feel like almost any time there's a third movie in a franchise, that's where the wheels come off? The studios seem to start cutting budgets, and I mean, almost always. Oh, shit.
Is there
very often?
A Return of the King. Come on, Lord of the Rings.
Nerd.
I do.
That is a great film.
Aside for the 19 endings at you
Right,
know.
right.
But
come on.
I still like it, and I have to say this is a movie that I thought was kind of weaker when I first saw it, but I appreciate it more as the years have gone by, and that is Star Trek 3. I like
Yeah.
that a bit
Mhm.
more.
Oh, Search for Spock.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
Me too.
Escape from the Planet of the Apes. That's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
That's a good one
that's
too.
That's a good.
That's
you're
a-
right.
that's a
I mean,
franchise.
there are
Yeah.
exceptions. Yes.
There are
Things
exceptions,
can be at a
certainly.
positive on Monster Party.
But but I guess maybe you guys all thought Bad News Bears Go to Japan was the best of the franchise too, or Superman 3.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
That's another franchise. My wife and I revisited recently. We watched Superman 3 and Superman 4, and they
No.
were 10 times worse than we even remember.
Yes,
it is.
10 times
They're
worse.
travesties.
Yes.
Really?
Four is
yeah.
unwatchable.
They are all. 'cause
Yeah.
they're all
So is
on-
3 though.
Yeah,
Three is
Sean, they're
too.
all
Yeah,
on
that's true,
HBO
that's
Max. So did
Yeah,
you do
exactly.
the
That's
thing
right.
where you-
Check 'em out. Yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
And it was even worse than I remembered.
Like how does this exist?
Yeah,
I mean,
Is your marriage in trouble, Sean? Why would you do that to each other?
because they get high. Didn't you hear that part?
Yes,
do.
yes, they do.
There are certain movies you like to let's just watch it high, be better. And,
Yeah,
I mean, even high is like, oh my god, this is god awful.
Let's watch this.
Oh, Gummy Wednesday.
Remember, it's
No.
like when you were young and people
You
would say
can't even-
Fantasia was great, and then you find out it's because they were on LSD. It's a horrible fucking movie. You can't sit through.
Whoa,
Those are fighting words. Those are fighting words. to
You guys,
Larry.
oh well, I'm obviously
Who
talking
are
to
you?
drug users.
What planet are
Look,
you from?
I like acid a lot,
Okay,
and
Okay.
I like Fantasia.
okay, me too. Now, have we all gone? Have we all taken a turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
I
did this.
haven't taken.
This has
no,
taken
I-
a turn.
I
This
haven't
has
Larry,
taken
have
a
you
turn.
done one?
No, I'm going to do mine now.
Wow, look at those lights go. It's like a carpet sale.
Okay. All right.
Coming
here-
soon.
Okay, here we go. Here's the question.
All right.
What monster/horror character from a film do you really wish there was an action figure for?
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, off the top of my head, did Distinctive Dummies make a Phantasm tall
Yes,
man?
they did.
Yes.
But they didn't make
Yes.
the other characters, did they?
Yes, they did.
They
They
did?
made- Yeah, they did.
Okay.
Reg.
Mike-
They did a Reggie Bannister.
But it's not,
Michael-
but they're not mass produced. They only make about 10.
yeah,
Right.
but they're great.
There's like about 50 or so. I mean, they're like Mego style, right?
But they're
I think Matt-
fantastic.
yeah, you have. I thought, Matt.
I have
think
the
you got
tall
that
man,
set.
and there's a 2-pack that came with the tall man and the kid.
Okay. So
Michael.
then let me
Michael.
think some more. Maybe someone else has a monster or horror character.
Well,
from
of
film.
course, I've said this many times in the show, but Beef or Swan from Phantom of the Paradise. I mean, I'd love
Oh,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I still
I'm
want.
going to pick
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
the Black Devil doll from hell. The little dummy.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that in your home to look at? You go to
Yes.
bed looking at it and wake up looking at it.
You can have it right next to your Zuni fetish doll from.
Well,
Yeah,
you used
yeah.
to-
Yeah.
you
And
used
it
to be
opens
able-
you up with the steam that comes out of its mouth.
Didn't they used to sell those in their booth at Monster Palooza for 15 years? I mean, did they have?
I think they did. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. Keep an eye out, boys, while you're there.
I would say Zelda Rubinstein from Poltergeist. Where-
Oh, interesting. Has there ever been a figure? You're right.
Nice.
That would be kind of cool to. Yeah.
Is,
you're
is
right.
that the little person?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
This house is clean.
And with the little button that you
Don't
could press
go
and it
into
would
the
say
light.
some
No, now
some
go into the
little
light.
dialogue.
Go to the left of the light.
Because I'm sitting over here with 16 Craig T. Nelson dolls that are life size. Feel like an asshole because
And half of them are from Coach.
let's just say I'm a collector, Sean.
Those beautiful things.
It's good.
Well, we've discussed this before, but I still want Box from Logan's Run
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
And all the Logan's Run characters.
and all the rest of
all
them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I want a special deluxe
Okay.
Jessica.
Life size.
Okay, so now you hit the nail on the head, Matt, because what I really want is I have the beautiful creature from the Black Lagoon from Sideshow, but I
Ah.
want a Julia Adams
Sure.
for
Yes.
him to hold
Sure.
in her bathing suit.
Right.
I
And that
want
classic-
Richard Carlson as
right.
Dr. David Reed with his
Yeah.
aqualung thing, and the thing that shoots the arrow under the water. Because then I
Sure.
can have them both in the scene with my creature. So it's
Yeah,
not
I agree.
necessarily a monster. Well, it's a horror character.
It
They're from
goes,
the movie.
yes.
But it's like,
Right.
you know, when Sideshow, they made the monsters, but it's like, how about making some of the other characters, whether it be, you know, Colin Clive but I think Julie Adams as Kay Lawrence and Dr. David Reed. That's what I would like.
Right, yeah.
How about
mine-
what's his face? The guy who ran the boat, Carlos.
Oh,
or-
Lucas.
Lucas.
Nestor Pava. Oh,
Yeah,
Mr.
you gotta have
Pava, yeah,
him.
for sure.
And the guy who runs the dock.
Yes,
You could have him. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
Roganon. Sometimes I catch fish that way.
The bus driver that brings them there.
No, he's not a bus driver. He's the boat.
I
he's the
know,
captain
I
of
know.
the boat, sir.
I
And
know,
he's a
yes.
great character actor.
I do. I think he's great.
It's great.
I have his autograph, by the way. Thank you.
Nice.
Anyone
Okay,
else?
mine would be this is a monster character I just think is so cool, and I would love to see this figure. It's from a movie that I love that is a flawed movie, but there's good reasons why. It's talk about studio interference. This should have been my pick for this. And that is the evil entity in physical form, Molasar from The Keep. Michael Mann's The Keep. from 1983. I love that character, especially because he starts out, he's not corporeal, and he
Right.
starts to form. First, it's just like a brain and a nervous system.
Yeah.
Then it's like a skull, and you can see through it, and then he becomes this kind of like weird golem-looking guy.
Yeah.
I just think it's so cool, and I would love to see that figure. And the movie just came out on Blu-ray finally. Still not in the movie came
Complete
out
form.
from the studio in 90 minutes. An hour was cut out of it. And that's why it's so
It
erratic
feels like it.
story-wise, but
Yeah.
it's such a beautiful movie, audio
It
and
is.
visual-wise. I can watch it over and over again. Great Tangerine Dream score. That monster is so cool. I wish somebody would make a figure.
Wait, they make a model kit for it.
Maybe they may have, but I want
like
like
a
a
garage
figure.
kit or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie, Sean.
Me too. Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
It's a keeper.
Good call.
I'm still
It's a
waiting.
keeper.
When are they going to come
That should have been the
out?
tagline.
But when are they going to? Because it's been like 3 years now. When are they going to come out? It was one of the biggest movies in box office history. When are they going to come out with action figures from the Barbie movie?
Actually, no, but you're
When
right
is
though.
that? When is
But,
that
but
happening?
actually, I'm surprised they haven't made specifically
I'm
based on those.
excited.
They
I want to.
kinda
They have.
have.
They do.
They
They
kinda
did
have.
do a really horrible.
They
version,
must have.
Barbie and Ken, yeah, from the.
Okay.
I don't
Right.
think it was horrible.
I have the little Oppenheimer babies. See when that came out? They're really fun.
Another overrated movie.
James,
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, big time.
See,
James,
He
Yeah.
agrees with me.
Yes.
did you?
Phantom of the Paradise.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
No,
and
we
all,
did.
and we all
Definitely.
said-
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
You have
that
my
is
vote
one
for
round.
president, James. You have my
That is
vote.
one round. So what do you say we do one more? Okay.
All right, let's do
At
Okay.
least one more. Okay.
Let's do
so
one more.
We're gonna start at the beginning again. So I guess it's John.
Reach. Are you up to your elbow?
Yeah.
Wait, what, you son of a bitch?
I
That's
grabbed
not what I
it.
called. Put that back in there.
Okay. You
And
ready?
go in. And to the left, to the right, and out. Hold out.
My God. Oh, it's the same one. What is
The same one.
Well, I threw it back in.
Oh, it's
Wait,
me on
wait a
the
minute.
floor.
It's fate.
Why are you? I thought
Why are you putting them back in?
Why are you putting them back in?
I pulled this out. He said it was too soon, so I threw it back
Oh,
in.
I
Yeah,
see
he's,
what
he's not.
you're
He's not putting in the
oh.
previous one.
What is wrong with you?
I hate to admit that I understood what Larry meant. I'm apparently the only one.
Okay,
It's just there's been so many mistakes.
Mr.
tonight
Guest,
that-
this is the question.
Okay.
The topic is, and you're probably going to like it. What is your favorite horror song?
Oh.
Now, I don't know who wrote
Wow.
it.
It's printed.
Favorite horror song. Well, you know what's funny? James made this great Halloween CD for me one time, and there's this great little tune of there's a Happy Halloween one. Trick or treat, trick or treat or Halloween. And
Yeah.
it just brings me back to a time when I was a kid, and it was a great little song. And I just love hearing, and it's horror, Halloween, and it's kind of trick or treat and Halloween, and it has spooky sounds in it. It's for kids, but I love it. I love listening to that. So there.
Cool.
So this is more songs in general, not songs from a movie or a
Well,
show?
it's just his favorite horror song. Hey man, I
Okay,
didn't write
okay.
it. I don't know whose this is. That's what it says.
Okay.
Favorite
Horror song,
horror-
and not necessarily from a movie, but
It
should we
doesn't
le-
say.
Okay,
It doesn't
all right.
So
say.
it could be, but yeah, okay.
It could be. Use your imagination.
Okay.
There.
I
Anyone?
liked what's his name, Johnny Cash. The first time I heard him do that 9 Inch Nails song, and what was it? The zombie one, the James Gunn one.
Dawn of the Dead?
Remember it opened up with it, didn't it?
When the man
Band
comes
with-
around, that one, right?
Yeah.
I love that song.
I don't know that song. How's it go, John?
It's hard to
You
do,
gonna hum a
right?
few bars for us, or is it zombies? Here
Oh,
come the
when the
zombies.
man comes around.
Yeah.
There's like this beginning scene, and then the
They're
credits
doing the
proper
jumps of
come
how
in.
the whole world went to shit.
Exactly, right. Yeah.
That was Zack Snyder, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah. It's
I
flawed,
remember that.
but I did enjoy, especially the first 15 minutes of that movie is fantastic.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice one, John.
I
wish
like
I knew the name and I wish I could have performed it.
it.
All right.
Just do
Anyone
walk
else?
the line.
Anyone else? Favorite horror song?
I don't want to be buried in the pet cemetery.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay.
Classic.
Great.
Where's that one from?
Because the lyrics tell the story.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's true.
And it's the Ramones.
Yep.
We know how much you
Oh.
love the Ramones, James.
Oh, I'm number one.
I didn't know that you liked the Ramones that much.
Oh yeah.
I learned something new.
Well, they're
Um,
Queens boys, so you know.
Now, if we were talking about just a horror song, I would have to go to probably one of the most famous horror songs when it comes to metal, and that would be the song Black Sabbath by Black Sabbath,
Yeah.
which is "What is this that stands before me?" Wow, wow. Very scary. The first time I heard it, I thought it was terrifying.
it was scarier just now with you singing it.
Anytime I sing, it's horrifying. But then if we're talking about a song that's in a movie, I would say "Surfin' Dead" by the Cramps from
Ooh.
Return of the Living Dead.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
one.
see, that's where I was going, Matt, because I know we've mentioned this many times, but I immediately went to The Green Slime
Oh, I
Great.
love that
Great.
song.
from the same movie, the same
Love
name,
it.
Charles Fox, and it's a great rockin' song.
It
It's-
is.
It's,
I
it's
love it.
fantastic. I love it
Yeah.
every time I hear it.
Nice.
Well, my birthday is Halloween. That is the day of my birth.
Oh wow, nice.
And I have always had a love for the Monster Mash.
Okay, classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
It is to me like, you know how lesser people like Mr. Napkin get really excited about Christmas music every
Yes,
year? He gets
yes.
Right.
John Matta loves Christmas music. He loves Christmas.
No, I do
That is-
too.
I just
It's
love
like-
The Grinch is my favorite song that's ever been made.
That's how I feel about the Monster Mash. Is every year around Halloween, it's like, oh, this is the month
Yep.
where I'm
Yep.
gonna get to hear the Monster Mash.
Wow.
And then and I always
It's a great one.
That is
Yeah.
But can I ask you a question? There are a bunch of different versions of
Oh,
it.
the original Bobby Boris.
You do
Pickett.
the classic.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
I'm with you.
accept no substitutions.
Thank
My
you.
parents got me a Monster record that had Monster Mash on it, but it was like, and it had these monsters
Chipmunks?
dancing on the cover. No,
I would accept the Chipmunks.
But the Monster Mash is the first one, and the guy who does it, it goes. It's kind of goofy, like a goofy phrase.
It's all because it's an impression of an impression.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So I had to listen to the record of this song that I really liked, but the guy's not singing it that well. I'm like,
That's like getting Fred Travalina's album of Rich Little's greatest hits. Why would you do that to yourself? Your parents, you know, if you were a kid today and your parents did that, you could bring them up on charges.
Yeah.
Back when we were kids, there was no recourse for us.
Well, you remember then the time when you'd go into Woolworths or something, you go to the record section and you'd see this compilation album that had all the hits of the day, and you're like, yeah, I got all the hits of the day, and then you put it on and it's as done by Dimensional Sound.
Right.
And
Yes.
The Peter Pan singers.
the Peter Pan singers.
But now I enjoy listening to that. But yes, at the time,
well,
it was
now,
devastating.
right.
Absolutely devastating.
In 2005, I was at the Chiller Horror Show in New Jersey, and Bobby Boris Pickett got up on stage and sang Monster Mash, joined by Zachary.
Wow.
Oh, that would have been amazing. That would have been
And our
amazing.
friend Wally Wingert was standing next to me, and he goes, "I got chills." And so did I.
Talk about another classic horror. A Dinner with Drac by Zachary is a great song.
Oh.
Multi song, if you ever hear, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Monster Holiday, which is mixing Christmas in there, so a little something for you, Mr. Matta. With Lon Chaney Jr. doing the
Right.
vocal work.
I would
was
have
a
liked to
monster
hear
holiday.
Robert Palmer have done that song.
Do you think Lon Chaney Jr. knew he was in the studio recording?
No.
No.
Just where the booze was.
No, they would just
Right.
every
We've
time
heard
he would fall
stories.
They
asleep.
lured him in.
There's an engineer in the studio that day going, God, I wish I lived during AI. Much easier to record.
I think they would just put a mic in his trailer and just grab whatever audio they could.
Yeah.
Let's put this
All
to
right.
music.
So we've all picked a favorite horror song, right?
Good ones.
Okay.
Very good.
So, Mr. Wright.
Yes. Now, pull it.
Pull the string.
Okay. Fast zombies or slow zombies? Never mind which ones you think are more plausible, a ridiculous concern anyway. Which ones are scarier? Viral zombies are included in this topic.
I do think fast zombies are far scarier than slow zombies. I find slow zombies absolutely ridiculous. But then if the zombies are fast, then it's ridiculous that anyone's alive.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yes, yeah.
So
The Last of Us, I don't know how anybody's alive on that fucking show. It's the most ridiculous conceit because those are goddamn fast zombies. And then, but then on The Walking Dead, I'm like, how have you not killed all the zombies by now? How are they not? How are
I
you
think
still doing this? How is that still a thing?
It depends though on the presentation and because I still think I do think there are fast zombie, like 48 hours later, and those are scary. But like Fulci's Zombie, which is slow zombies, but the movie has such claustrophobic dread and darkness to it. When watching those Fulci's zombies shamble around with their head down, but they're just still moving. They're so creepy and unnerving to me. Those are scary zombies. So it just depends. It really depends on the presentation.
I
agree.
I agree. But you know what? 50 years into zombies, you got to speed it up for me now. Because now it's not scary to me now.
yeah, well, it's
Go ahead, Larry. Come on.
no. Go ahead.
Give it to us.
No,
Give it to
go.
All I'm going to say is that if you go back to the original Night of the Living Dead and you look at those zombies, people remember things incorrectly because there are fast zombies in that movie.
Absolutely.
The very first zombie in the cemetery, he moves pretty quickly.
He's chasing after a car.
Yeah. And so the rules hadn't been established yet. And then we got to a place after, because I love Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. Those films, there's a satirical quality to them as well. And then there's the idea of that there's so many of them that it overwhelms you, no matter how slow they are. But when you get into watching Walking Dead, there are so many times where I went, well, just walk a little faster than they are. You just walk around them.
Right?
How
is this
Go left.
Yeah, get a bunch of guns and hammers and just take them out, and I think you got the world back. But then there was a show called Black Summer, which went 2 seasons, and it had these fast zombies. And to me, it was the antidote to The Walking Dead, because to me, there is nothing scarier than someone running at me who wants to kill me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
And I find that terrifying. And then Train to Busan.
Many of my neighbors say the same thing about me. Mr. Napkin can.
What about in the Asian movies when you saw him jumping? That really freaked me out.
Yeah.
Well, those are. I hate to school you on this. But
I can be corrected.
Those are vampires.
Hopping vampire genre.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for setting us straight, Matt.
You're welcome.
I would have felt like a dope.
Look, everyone knows, if you listen to the show for years, you know that Matt and I kind of have our different opinions about fast and slow zombies. Based on the question, Matt, is it scarier, fast or slow? I agree with Sean. It kind of depends, but look,
Fair enough.
If I'm just going to play with the rules here, I feel that if it's a slow zombie, okay, I'm going to be able to run and try to find out where I'm going to hide. I can take a little rest. And if it's a running zombie, like let's say 28 days later, which because you say viral, if it's viral,
No, that works.
okay.
Yeah.
And that is terrifying, because if they're continually running and they don't necessarily need a rest, that is very, very scary to me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But also, Larry, I can see your point too in that, because if you are a reanimated dead body and you're decaying, if you're constantly running like a marathon, you're eventually just going to fall apart.
Exactly.
So I can understand that view too.
But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it's like if it's a fresh person, a fresh zombie, and it's chasing you. Look, Sean, I've put on weight over the past year, and I mean, I would be zombie meat, man. I could go for a little bit, and then I'd pass out, and then I'd be eaten.
So you hope that if it happens, they're going to be slow zombies after you.
Yeah.
But Larry, just think how much weight you'd lose after you're dead. You'd be running, just cardio nonstop. You look fabulous.
Yes. Okay. So have we all answered?
Yeah,
we've all answered. Okay, so
good answers.
So Sean.
Okay, grab it right now.
Oh, it's an old one.
Uh-oh, moldy.
Oh boy.
Actually, this one doesn't have mold on it.
Okay.
Oh, this looks like it would be yours. Are there too many genre shows now?
Well, that was written years ago.
Yes. Is this your writing?
I don't know. No,
it looks like it could be mine, because it looks like a 3-year-old.
So the question is, and it's an old one, so this was done years ago.
That's
true.
Yeah.
Maybe like 10 years
shows
ago.
Now, boy, that's a good question. I will say this. We used to talk about, isn't it great? Aren't we happy to be living in this day and age when science fiction, fantasy, horror, there's so much of it out there to choose from, and superhero stuff. But now, is there a feeling that, oh God, there's just so much?
Well, you know what? I'll go out on a limb, because I've said this many times already. As long as it's a show, yes, there's too many of them, because I don't need these stories to be long form. I don't need to sit through freaking 12 episodes. Give it to me in a 2-hour movie. And
in most cases, yes, I can see that. Right.
Yeah. So
Which is kind of a different question.
Yeah, it's kind of a sideways answer to that question. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like, yes, there are too many, because now streaming and the streaming networks are looking for ways to get subscribers. So they're like, oh yeah, let's just do a long form series when it's not necessary. So yes, that's my answer.
So maybe it's like, because everyone wants to try to make that next big, like how many Star Wars spin-offs are there? And I know that there's like been a backlash. There have been some that have been canceled and stuff. I don't know. On the flip side, a lot of talented young filmmakers are getting opportunities to do different science fiction, fantasy, and horror stuff. So it's kind of neat that new blood is being brought into it, and they've got a new take on it. So I don't know. I'm happy that not everything is going to be my cup of tea, but I'm glad that there's a lot of stuff out there. Hey, well, I'm in the mood for some different science fiction. Hey, I'll watch this. So,
Larry, I think I'm with you on this, because I would say that, one, I think there are not enough good. I think there are better horror shows than there are science fiction shows, but I would say that overall, I like that there are a lot of them because it improves the chances that some of these will be good.
Yeah.
Back in our day, it was Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers.
That was it.
Right.
That was it. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, well, which one is more thought provoking?
Right. But to me, it's not a matter of, and we've said this before too, it's not a question of there are too many genre shows. It's the TV series that simply exist as filler to keep the IP alive. That is terrible. That when you see something like Godzilla Monarchy or whatever, that is a complete fucking waste of time.
Yeah, that was
or the
horrible.
Ben or the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV series, complete waste of time, that they're just simply there to keep the interest in the franchise,
Right.
and not, let's just make a great show. That's the problem. That I guess applies mostly to the big franchises, but there are a lot of good shows. I mean, there are shows that pop up like, what is this show? Like, it's like, this looks cool. And
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're disappointing, but sometimes like, wow, this is cool. I mean, so again, it is kind of a golden age, but there's the other side of that is like, holy shit, I'm never going to be able to see all these,
Yeah, I mean, you turned me on to Channel Zero, and that just came out of nowhere. I was like, wow,
Fantastic.
those were fun.
Yeah.
Well, back in the 15, 20 years ago with television, they would have TV pilot season every year. And there were 4 networks, right? And between those 4 networks, they would make like 75 pilots. And you'd think, well, that seems extreme. And then they pull shows. Making a TV show that's good, a lot of it ends up being luck, because there are so many moving parts, so many things that I'm sort of the opinion that they need to make more shows, because without more content, we're not going to get enough good content.
Yeah.
And so I agree, there's too much shit to watch, but it is just too much garbage. Even like, I keep wondering how long Apple will continue this farce of a TV streaming service, because, but the thing that I find fascinating about Apple, and this just does tie back in, is where everything else, if you look at all the other networks or the streamers, so much is just real mediocre. But on Apple TV Plus, stuff is either great or it's the worst fucking thing you've ever seen in your life, and it cost $1 trillion to make.
Yeah, the money spent on these things.
Yeah, the money, which is why I wonder how much longer that continues. But I will say this: they are making stuff, and I love sci-fi, and they throw a lot of sci-fi. They throw a lot of sci-fi up, and a few of them I think are some of my favorite TV shows ever, and most of them are, I think people should be fired. That's it. There's nothing is just like, oh, I just leave it on. I just leave it on while I do things around the house. It's either I will kill you.
Charles,
I'm gonna watch it 5 times.
Or you can't take your eyes off of it.
Yeah. But Charles, is it way back when, 30 years ago, when you said pilot season, it's like, okay, we're going to make this one episode, this one show. Right. We're going to play it and see what the response is if people like it. Nowadays, it's like, we're not going to make a one-off.
They're going to make the whole show. Yeah.
The whole series. And that's why.
And sometimes premiere it the entire in one night, too.
Yes.
Right.
The reason for that, one of the reasons for that is that the entire season is 6 episodes. Whereas on a network TV series, the seasons used to be 25 episodes.
Yeah.
And
it sounds crazy now.
And you were signing your life away for 6 years. But I get it.
I know. It's weird.
And now that they can have arcs as opposed to everything has to be a standalone episode, because they want to have the opportunity to play them out of order. And so I think that also helps and hinders, because my least favorite thing in a lot of series now is that, you get the great episodes and then you get 2 episodes that are just treading water. Yeah.
Yes.
and like, okay, we got to get through these. And like, I get tired of the like, oh, it really takes off in episode 4.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Infuriating.
John, what do you think? Do you think there's too many?
No, I agree with all you guys. Is just in life, you meet 30 people you like too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why should
Yeah.
TV be any different? And I think Apple can continue making things as long as they're iPhones. You know, they don't really need money. Like, you find out how all these companies that they own in China and stuff, they own they're like McDonald's. They don't own the buildings, but they own everything else. They have an incredible amount of money. It's going to be them and Amazon who owns everything. And Netflix is doing great because they have the technology. But they don't have the deep pockets. Like, at one point, does Netflix have to throw their arms up and go, we got, that's why they're going for shows like Tires. They agree, they make 6 of them. It's really cheap. And comedians, it's guys that are on the road too. So I think you're going to find more collectives, I think, of like horror show kids like in Iowa who can give you, it's where it's going to have to go, where they're going to be able to give you 7 or 8 of them of something great. And no one's pulled the trigger on any of these guys, and they're out there. So you wonder who is gatekeeping that for these guys that are making smaller films now.
Just to jump in on this, one of the things that I think is a unique element to the amount of content that we have right now is the fact that international shows are way more accepted than they ever were.
Yes,
true.
Totally agree.
Something like Dark.
Yeah, Dark or Squid Game
could
ever be a giant.
Korea knows what I love. That whole country knows what I love.
And so that's also, I think, changed the game a little bit. The idea that you can have all these other countries giving their crazy, weird sci-fi horror views to us. I love that. And I wonder, I'm not sure exactly how that affects the cost. The idea that you're buying the rights to something as opposed to making it, I'm assuming that would be cheaper.
Yes, that's right. Well, what happens is they pay you to distribute it. So,
right.
So it's a moneymaker. But if you own content that people love, then you own it, and you can sell that to other people to watch.
Yeah.
Not a lot has crossed over here other than Squid Games, Those guys that did that
stuff that crosses over. That's probably one of the biggest crossovers.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one. Was about the Vikings, but it was like if it happened in an office where it was just everybody.
Oh, hey, the comedy, the comedy.
Yeah, we have to kill you because you're older and you're going to eat too much
that's
food.
Genius.
That was
I don't know if I want to do that. And then the other guy going, listen, I'm just a slave. I can't tell you what to do.
That was so good. And I didn't realize that they, like what you were talking about.
They made it 2 ways. English
2 ways,
and
like
Danish.
Nosferatu. The idea that they could make that work in 2 different languages and have that same great timing.
Good.
Yeah, I loved that show.
My wife
what is
did
this show
their
called? What is it called?
animated show.
Was it Vikings, right? Or
Something like that. Yeah.
Norse,
and then
it's not Norsemen or Vikings. I forget.
It's one of them, because then they did Captain Fall, which was an animated thing, and Rose did a couple voices on it. So it was kind of cool to see them breaking into the American market. So
the show was Norsemen. That's right.
Norsemen.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic. What was
really
it?
good.
3 seasons?
Yeah.
So they did 2 seasons and then went to the beginning with the 3rd season, then just ended it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we're all kind of split. Are there too many genre shows?
I think we're all on the same team.
I think
just
so.
more.
There's too much content, and it's crap. But you kind of need to have a lot of content to get the good stuff.
Yeah.
And especially now, because we are of course all human beings who grew up in an age of television where you didn't have a lot of options, right? Even if you never watched an episode of Quincy, you knew of Quincy. You knew that this show, and you knew who the stars of that show were. You knew what that show was about. You never had to watch a fucking episode of it. But now you can have a show that is on for 10 years. Yeah. On NBC. A show can be on for 10 years on NBC, and you've never even heard of it.
It's true. It's true. It's
never
insane.
heard of it. You don't know who any of these actors are on it. You could bump into them at Ralph's. It doesn't matter to you.
It's like the multiverses colliding. It's like, what is this from?
Yeah. So
what I want to see the battle of the network stars.
Yeah, I want Circus of the Stars with the cast.
Okay.
And it's just like
horses.
1,000 people.
All right.
Yeah.
It's like it'll be like Battle Royale.
So this has been great. So we've answered this one. Okay. So
Okay.
James,
All right.
I think it's
Moving
James.
on.
Sean went. So James.
All right, keep digging, keep digging. Okay, stop.
It's an old one.
Woohoo.
Uh-oh.
Best science fiction or horror weapon.
Oh,
Best
That's
science
interesting.
fiction or horror weapon.
Spock.
No, weapon.
I heard you. Asked and answered. Spock.
Spock. That's great.
You know what's kind of cool is what was the
This is your
Brad
favorite
Pitt film, the Brad Pitt film when they're on the moon and they have these guns that it's like fire like compressed air or something.
On the moon. Ad Astra?
Yeah, maybe that's it. There's a battle on the moon. And it's really, really cool. And it's actually kind of tense because the guns that they have, they're not a bullet. It's like these thrusts of air or something. And they're violent and they're really, really cool. I'd never seen anything like it. Because you would think, well, you would just have a regular gun. And no. It's like this air thing. And both sides are using them. And when it hits, it can really cause a lot of destruction to like vehicles or something. So it was something I hadn't seen that wasn't very common. So
it's interesting. I don't remember.
Wait a minute. So that's your favorite?
Well, I thought it was
the air guns from Ad Astra.
Yeah, I thought there was. Well, it's what popped in my head. What?
Okay,
I
just want to clarify.
Blaster.
Spock would melt that fucking thing.
I'm just saying, Matt. It was an atypical weapon.
It's original, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Jesus.
I'm going with the. I hate watching my parents fight like this. I love the crazy sphere from Phantasm.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Genius.
That drove me crazy as a kid when I saw it, and then now I'm kind of excited about Mr. Terrific in Superman because if he puts his balls on a guy's head and it starts squirting out blood on a guy, I'd love to see that.
I wanted one of those, by the way. I wanted one of those.
Of course you would.
You mean you wanted one of these?
Yes. Yes, Sean.
Oh, Sean
For
got
listeners,
one.
Sean is
Seen
holding
4
up
of
his
those.
beautiful
Minimum.
Showing my
with
replica
with the
sphere,
the
which
vicious,
my wife got me for
forks and
Christmas.
the drill.
Yeah, no, it's
gorgeous.
and this is heavy. This is metal. This can actually kill you.
Sean, that is so cool. That is
Nice.
so.
On my
I would
desk.
go for something that's not an actual weapon, but is used as a weapon, and that is the wolf silver cane from the Wolfman.
Great
Nice.
choice. Great choice.
Nice.
Because it's an
Gorgeous.
item that ends up being used as an effective weapon because it's
Very
made out
good.
of silver. Yeah.
So sad.
That's
I have
good.
a full size one of that.
Nice.
You don't
Nice.
use it though.
Well, it vibrates, so yes, I do. I do use it.
A home protection.
Okay, the cane. Anyone else?
Okay, science fiction. I kind of vacillate between the classic Star Trek phaser and the
Great.
Logan's Run Sandman gun.
Excellent.
Oh no, that's a cool gun.
I
love that gun so much.
I love the flare. I would love to have one that does that. I know they make them. Some fan guy I know
See,
makes
Matt,
them.
that's unique though. I mean, there aren't.
Yeah.
It's like thinking of other guns that do that. That's a unique weapon.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
and-
You
and-
didn't really see that again
and Matt-
before.
You know what's great about that, Matt, is that this is back when it was really making that flare. It wasn't
Yes, they used real fire.
There's fucking shit flying out of that gun when he's firing.
I miss real fire.
I know. I would say along those lines.
But wait a minute, hold on. I have to throw in my horror choice.
Okay.
And I say this is a weapon, the lament configuration from Hellraiser.
Fantastic. Of course.
Sure.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's a classic.
And now I'm done, Sean. Go ahead.
I would say, Matt, along your lines of the Sandman blaster from Logan's Run, another gun that I just love, and I know you do too, because it's just so cool. It's a very low budget movie, but as it's the kind of alien rifle gun that goes over your hand and laser blast.
Great.
Oh, no, that's a cool one.
I mean, in a way, that gun's kind of like the star of the movie in a lot of ways. I mean, it's great. It's fantastic. It's low budget Charles Band film, but it's great.
And a perfect.
You mean like this?
that would be the perfect toy set, because I would have that, and it would come with the necklace that you had to wear to get it to work.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic.
None of you guys have a gun room?
No.
Just sci-fi stuff there?
I had
In the cellar, of course.
I used to have a bunch of like laser or like those, it's a friction guns that make sparks.
Okay.
I had a bunch of different like ray guns, if you will. And
Always
I
cool.
modified some of them, kind of made, nailed a bunch of holes in the wall and it made it a mess. And so it had to come down.
I do miss the suction cup guns that you could get at the 5 and dime,
Those are fun.
because you could take the suction cup off and you could just shoot them and make them hurt. I would always glue a needle into the.
Would you really?
With poison
Yes.
at the end of it.
No, with just a little bit of heroin, just enough to take the edge off.
I don't know about
You can tell millennials when you talk to them that they were not children who grew up around other children who owned BB guns. From millennials down, it's like, oh, I can tell, you didn't grow up around other children who had guns.
Right.
How is that for you? Oh, sure, you can't afford to buy a house, but did you ever have to run away from other children shooting you with guns
True.
in your suburbs? Because I did. So maybe I get a house now. Maybe I get a house. I'm just kidding. I'm losing my house. I'm losing my house. Okay.
What about yours, G's?
What?
What about your weapon?
Spock.
Spock.
Okay, you're sticking with Spock.
Wow.
Deal
You're
about
sticking with Spock.
Spock
Okay,
is a
all right.
weapon.
Okay.
Spock
The
is
death
more
grip.
powerful than the phaser.
Okay.
Look at all the time Spock steps in.
He's our
And,
guest.
and
Strength, mind meld,
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, the pinch. Yeah.
Okay.
I stand
All right.
corrected.
That was great. That's great, Charles. Thank you. Okay, Matt.
Go.
would you- Best sci-fi hair. Who has the best sci-fi
I like that.
hair?
Ooh, somebody typed that one out.
I don't know who's this
Wow,
one.
that was from our legal department.
Okay. In Gamesters of Triskelion, Shauna, that was played by Angelique Pettyjohn.
Good choice.
Good one.
Classic Star Trek episode.
Now her hair is green, but it's like this big bouffant thing.
Yep.
And for some reason I was like, well, she looked pretty hot too. I was strangely attracted to her and her hair. And so I think she had great hair. And what's really neat
She had
is,
great everything.
yes, she did. And years later, she would go to conventions dressed in that outfit. She made an outfit like that.
Nice.
And she did her hair up and stuff. So she's no longer with us, but I wish I could have met her. But I love that.
Yeah,
hair.
me too.
I love that. hair.
That's great hair.
Mhm.
No, of course, Princess Leia in Star Wars.
Oh,
Classic.
beautiful.
Because
Beautiful.
here you have a galaxy where most of the hairstyles are not all that different, except hers made a real statement, which sent a message that, okay, this is a different universe. And maybe no other character had something like that, but that sent a message. So that was significant.
Yeah, I agree.
Good one. I'm gonna go with Gary Oldman from The Fifth Element.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Right
That's
one.
good. I like
That's
that.
How big of a Slow Horses fan I am.
I like it. I like it.
Now it's just like a crazy hat too that he wore.
Yeah, it was
We're
like,
gonna go. I'm gonna get one of those see-through hats when I get older.
but it's like a piece of plexiglass or something.
Yeah.
And
That'd
what
be great cosplay at a convention.
And what
Yeah.
was the shit that was scrolling down his head? Was that oil? What was that?
I don't know.
Remember?
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, good one though. Anyone else? Hair. Who had best sci-fi hair?
You know what? I'm on a theme right now, and I'm going to stick with it. Farrah Fawcett, Logan's Run.
Logan's Run.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
Because, if we're really going to be honest with ourselves, that is the haircut that defined a generation.
Absolutely.
Yes, totally agree. And it was the future.
See, everyone thinks that that's a dystopian future, but I saw it as a hopeful future. 30, you're out. And while you're alive, you got Farrah Fawcett running around. Fantastic.
Don't you think the rules would have said, Farrah, even though you're 30, you can just
Yeah.
3 more weeks.
Stick around.
you get 3 more weeks.
But you know what you gotta do.
Don't tell anybody, but I fixed your life clock. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Anyone else?
Well, I want to say Spock again.
That should be good.
But I'm not. I'm going to say Persis Kambata in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Wait a minute.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
I like.
Yeah. Shaved head.
She was striking.
Shaved head and stunning.
Okay.
The shaved
Was
head
it
at that-
shaved though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Her species
Doesn't
not
have
produce
hair.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about how they actually shaped it.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Her species,
you're right.
yeah. Her species did have fantastic
Stunning.
legs, though, too.
And we can't just gloss over no hair.
No place.
That's right.
And listeners,
Does this
believe it or
remind you
not,
of another story from when you were a writer on Playboy TV?
Funny you should mention.
for listeners out there, when the film came out back in 79, Ben Cooper came out with a Star Trek set of costumes, which included Lieutenant Ilea. So if you were a little girl,
Wow.
you could get the bald woman.
Wow.
I don't know how many
That's
of those they
hilarious.
actually sold,
Yeah, that's interesting.
but yeah.
Have you ever tried to get one on eBay, Larry?
Yeah, they pop up every once in a while.
Like-
That
like
whole
for how much?
closet's filled up with them.
All right.
Nothing
would
like
say-
an army of toddlers coming at you dressed as Persis Kambata.
But are they slow toddlers or do they run?
Nice.
Either are terrifying.
So okay, we've covered this.
Wait, I have to go. Mine
Sean,
still.
Sean, oh,
I would
please.
say, and
John's part of
Matt,
the show.
Matt, I know you appreciate this. I would say actress Gabrielle Drake as Lieutenant Gay Ellis from Jerry
Oh.
Anderson's UFO with the purple wig on Moonbase.
Oh, that was sexy hair.
You know
Very
what?
sexy.
Again, I'm so happy that you brought that up because I never thought that so many odd elements thrown together could work so perfectly.
Yes.
And that
Yeah,
there's
and-
even a reason why their hair is purple.
That's right.
It's like
Some
an
of the-
anti-radiation something.
the
or
magnetic field or something.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, yeah.
And there's a great
That's
action
right.
figure of her too. which
Yes, I have it.
I looked at it. It was the future. You
Yeah,
know, in
exactly.
the future, and that I just
All women are going to be like that in the future. Cool.
I actually thought her hair was real, and they
Yeah.
just dyed it purple.
Right, right,
I did.
right.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's a great iconic look.
Perfect.
All right.
That's what I
Well,
want
we've
for my
all done the
birthday.
hair. Okay, so now it's my turn, and I am up. Okay, taking this out. The question is, it's titled Deliciousness. What is your go-to snack at a movie theater? And there's a second part to it. And what is your go-to snack for the home movie experience? Okay.
Wow.
So what is your
Me-
go-to snack? This is good. Those are
I like
go-to
it.
for the movie theater and go-to snack at home. Okay, well, I have to say I don't buy candy when I go to the movie theater because it's way too expensive. But if I splurge, I always get that big batch of popcorn with the butter on it. At home, I like a nice little batch of red vines. That's what I like.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
like that you
Good.
call your red vines a batch as if you were baking them. Bake up a batch of red vines tonight. I have some company
It's
coming
red
over.
vines.
Well, you guys know, and you know how
They're still. Be careful.
and people go, "Oh, just get some Twizzlers. Aren't they the same thing?" No,
No.
they are
No,
not.
no.
They are so different. And I get the package in the rectangular thing that's
Sure.
sealed for freshness.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then you have to eat them all because if you let
I
them,
do, Matt. If I'm
you have
watching
to.
like a Lord of the Rings thing, I'm just eating them
if you
all.
let them, if you let them go another day, then they're all just like stuck together as one.
Right.
It could be used as a shiv in prison.
But sometimes what I do this is I'll bite the tip off of both, and then I'll use it as a straw. Sometimes when I'm drinking my soda.
Also, something that
Wow.
happens in prison. But okay.
Okay.
That
anyone
sounds like the
else?
best prison. If you're going to be in a prison,
It's a great prison.
Go to one that has red vines.
It's a metaphor, G.
Okay. Anyone else? Go to
Don't
snack
go
and
to
movie
prison.
theater and
Don't
home.
go. Mine is popcorn and popcorn. However, the way that I eat the popcorn is different. If I go out to the movies, I'm popcorn, butter, popcorn, and salt. And I put
Yes.
salt.
Yes.
So I go full tub of popcorn, and that's what I do. I don't mess around with the candy there.
Yeah.
But at home, it's
Do you butter it at the place?
Mr. Napkin just got back. I guess he was on a break. Yes, I butter it and I have salt.
I didn't hear
on it,
butter.
too. Butter and salt.
I didn't know whether you're going
This
dry.
is what it's like every night we're out walking the dogs. The same thing.
Butter it, Jay?
Every night we're walking dogs. I'm telling him I put butter on my popcorn. And then I get and I go, and salt. And he goes, well, do you put butter on it?
What about
Every
butter?
night. I say, what are you talking about? I just said butter to you. But then at home I have this silicone air popper. I know you thought I was going someplace else, Matthew. It's an air popper for your microwave. It's this silicone thing. You just pour some popcorn kernels in it, stick it in the microwave, and it air pops
Oh,
popcorn.
Oh.
interesting.
Then I dump that in a bowl. I spray
Butter?
God damn it. That's just also every night. Every night we're out walking dogs, and I get angry, and I pull the cans off my head, and I throw them on the ground. Spray a little avocado oil spray that has no fan. Spray a little bit of that on it, and then I shake some butter-flavored salt.
Oh.
Wow, you're
But you need the avocado oil so that the butter-flavored salt has something to adhere to because there's air popcorn.
I see.
So when I go out to the movies, it's 5,000 calories and 85 grams of fat, and when I do it at home, it's nothing.
wow,
Wow.
that's really interesting. That sounds good.
How about you guys, James?
Well, in a theater, it's sweet and savory. It's M&Ms or Raisinets with salty buttered popcorn, and at
Butter?
home- of course. And at home it's good and plenty. But I chew the candy off.
Ooh,
I chew the
good
candy
and
off the
plenty.
licorice first, and then I just
Ah.
taste the licorice after that. So I have a system.
Ah.
Not with my
Nice.
dental work.
I
Not
love
with
the
my dental
system.
work.
Sean?
That's good.
Well, I always go for the candy in theaters.
Do
And it's,
you?
It's either peanut M&Ms
Must be nice to be rich.
or
The chauffeur drops me off in front, and then
peanut M&Ms. I go all out. or Junior Mints. Junior Mints.
Junior
That's
mints,
funny.
really?
Junior Mints. I love Junior Mints. Yeah, always
Really?
did.
I've never been like,
Really?
that's
I-
too much mint. I like mint in a chocolate kind of like, but light.
Yeah.
But if it's a full mint, it's the same thing with
you
like
know what?
coconut.
Oh, well, coconut. I hate coconut, but
Okay,
but junior mints. But if it's across the whole movie, junior mints is good because you don't.
Oh, it
yeah, you
lasts.
just. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, and that
Yeah,
with
no,
the
that's
drink.
good.
And at home, I'd say it's a beer and sativa edible. There you go.
I know that.
All right.
I like, I like mint and I like chocolate the same way that I like children and I like going out in public. But I don't like these two things together.
Yeah.
That's great, Charles. But you had your turn.
How dare you?
John?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Wow.
John?
Butter?
Stick of butter.
Not a stick of butter.
Yeah,
Take a
that's
stick
at
of
home.
butter.
That's what I have at home. At a movie theater, I've really had my heart broken by hot items, universally. The one, 2 times I've not been heartbroken was at $2 theater out in Pasadena, Colorado, had White Castle briefly.
Wow.
And I've always had a problem or anger with my colon, so I would get that. Or I like a hot pretzel, but I like them when they're little and they have a cheese sauce available.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like
All right.
the cheese sauce.
Okay.
With any kind of beverage is fine.
Right. But what about at home? At home.
I always knock down drinks. I frown upon it at home. I don't know why. Rose has got a lot of stuff, so I'm always grabbing from whatever she's got.
Okay.
And a stick of butter.
Just raw, just eat it.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you?
Well, of course, popcorn, buttered popcorn, always a great staple. But I have to say that a hot dog never tastes better than at a movie theater for me.
Really?
I fucking love, I could eat 5 of them. Like, I fucking love them. Environment somehow affects the flavor. But like,
Sure.
Okay.
the idea that I get something warm and then you put the relish and then a little bit of mustard and it's gone immediately. And I want 4 more.
When was the last time you had a hot dog at a movie?
It's been a while because,
They've really dropped in quality.
Oh, really? Really? Well,
Yeah,
I mean, how is that
I
even
don't-
possible? Because aren't hot dogs always kind of shitty?
No. It depends on where you go. And Mr. Matt, I beg to differ because the last film that I went to see with my daughter, which was the Minecraft movie.
I feel like Larry already had his turn. Why is he still talking? How come Larry never shuts up? It's always Larry's turn. See the monster? Is that why it's called Monster Party?
It's called Monster Party, yes. But John, they have some fancy stuff.
What was the theater you went to?
It was an AMC. It was an AMC. It was like multiple theaters. They had 10 theaters or something like that.
The Glendale
really
one's horrible.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a baddie.
See, I don't think I would notice the difference of the good, bad. The fact that it's at the movie theater.
Right.
As long as the bun is not stale.
Yeah.
As long as the bun is nice and fluffy, I'm so good.
If they're wrapped up tight, in the paper with the aluminum foil,
Right.
that's when I'll order it. But if not, I gotta watch the guy. I'm out.
No, I don't want to watch him make my hot dog. No.
I've walked out of more Quiznos
Yeah, that's
by
like
seeing
that's
the
like
guy making my
Benihana's in
food.
hell.
Yeah.
But at home, I do like a nice tube of Pringles.
Yeah.
Sour cream and onion only.
Oh.
And then here's where I'm gonna throw you for a loop. You know what I really love while I'm watching a movie is some Chinese bao.
Wow.
Chicken or pork. Fucking love it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Because I need to die faster.
I have no problem having dinner with a movie at home.
Yeah, no, we do that.
No, that's
sure.
good. That's always good.
When I first got here, we would go to the New Beverly with Patton every night, and there was a guy who brought in 2 bags of takeout, and he had a board with him. And he put the board on top of the seats, and he would set up a buffet.
Oh my God.
James?
Oh my God. And it was just steamy. The only thing he didn't do was put on a sombrero. to be that big of an asshole right in front of me. But like you just saw it going, and then everybody, it happens so often. That's the other thing. The guy is buying a ticket with a board.
Shouldn't be allowed. I
right.
thought you weren't allowed to bring in food.
Well, this was like when we were first here. That was 20, 30 years. There were no rules.
There were no rules back then.
It was a
It was
different
the wild,
time.
wild west. Yeah.
Yes.
And that was so exciting when you moved here. You would see movies like Swingers or whatever, and they had the schedule to the New Beverly on a refrigerator. So you're at the movies going, holy fuck, I know that place. Or you'd see like the Iliad bookstore. So I just moved here and I recognize places. That drove me nuts. I loved it.
Have you guys had good experiences with the food delivered to you in the theater? That kind of thing where,
Yes.
pizza
A couple times you've done that.
Yeah, my daughter and I did that for Shin Godzilla, and it was actually great. It was really nice. The food.
What'd you have?
It was fancy. I had like a chicken burger thing, and it had the wedge cut fries, and it looked like it was in like, well, they had it. It was connected to a restaurant. The theater was connected to a restaurant, and so it was like restaurant type food. It was really nice, beautifully presented.
Gee, Charles, we just had this discussion last night. Would you please?
I'm sitting in the movies trying to watch a fucking movie, and some asshole in front of me is getting a chicken burger and wedge cut fries. and that's a process that involves somebody walking over and talking to him about it, and I got to hear them discuss the order, and they take it. And then right about the time I fucking finally forget about it and I'm back into the movie, a half hour goes by and the asshole comes back into the theater now with that chicken burger and the wedge cut fries, and they set them down. And then the person go, can I also get, hold on, I can't. And then they pulled their phone on so they can look at them. Can you tell me, does this have sugar in it? Jesus Christ. And people pay more money to go do it. So I do think that it is nice for obviously for some people. I am more of a New Beverly type of person where if people are bringing food in, or if people are talking, or people are on their phone during the movie, then they are shot.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
That's me. But I am also a popcorn guy. So it's like, to me, like it's wasted on me, because if I have to sit in the theater and have a waiter bring me my popcorn and drink, it's like,
yeah, you want to prepare your own.
Yeah.
well, it's wasted.
Right?
It's just it's just wasted on me.
Right.
If you're gonna, sure, I understand the appeal of wanting to order a meal and a cocktail and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm just getting a popcorn and a drink and
Right.
down. So
I just like to order anything that comes with a fish broth.
I like to get the hot pot.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah.
There is a
Crab
great,
chipino.
there's a great Korean barbecue movie cinema. It's absolutely fantastic. You really enjoy the film.
The shrimp raisinets are so good.
I went to a horror movie last week at the Look Cinemas, which is there's one in Glendale by me, and it's the same thing where you sit down and they bring you your food and everything. And I went in to see some horror movie that was playing. Was absolutely a horrible movie, but not as horrifying as me having to listen to this witches coven that were seated next to me, trying to order for 15 fucking minutes.
Oh my God.
And then as the food peters out, it's the whole thing. And it's, can I get an iced tea? Would you like a small or large? As large as you can make it. I just sit here and watch.
Does this come with butter?
Well, I have to say this has been great.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
This has been amazing.
This has been a lot of fun. We have covered a lot of topics, and I'm actually very surprised at a lot of the answers that we gave.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
boy, John and Charles, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Yes.
John Matta, you're a staple of this topic.
Ah.
It is all topics, but Mr. G. Charles Wright, we are so happy to have
The
you.
best.
Yeah.
We got to do this more often.
Don't sleep on G. Charles.
No. I like once every 15 years is plenty.
That's about right. Yeah.
Are you free on Halloween? I'm just curious.
That's my birthday, so obviously I'll be free. I will have no plans. Every one of my friends will absolutely be doing something else.
But Charles, you have this class. If people wanted to check out more information, where would someone go?
I doubt anyone's still listening to the show by now.
But on the small chance that there might be.
Okay. It's my name, gcharleswright.com, gcharleswright.com. They can find everything there. Thank you.
All right.
And John, is there anything you're working on that listeners can check out?
Yeah, we just got a children's book that's out there now. We're trying to get it published, so I'll let you guys know. Did it with Ken Daly.
Nice.
So that big nerd, still doing Matt and Skinny stuff. My wife Rose is on Hacks on HBO Max.
Nice.
Wow.
So check that show out. It's fun to see her on something that is also one of my favorite comedies.
It's a huge show. Yeah.
Yeah. Rose Abdu.
Yeah, she's a pistol, that little girl. And that's it. Everything. As show business goes away. And,
Exactly. Yeah. It's slowly
and
deteriorating.
I'm gonna be outside in 5 minutes walking my dog with G. Charles.
That's true. That is true.
And then going, what do you mean? James is the cutest one.
John, I'm pretty sure you told me that it's not a spoiler to let everybody know that in the finale this season on Hacks, we do discover that Rose's character is an imaginary friend.
Yep. Big dream sequence. Yeah, she's been dreaming this whole thing as an imaginary character.
Wow.
But thanks for having me on again, gents.
Of course. You guys
You
are
bet,
great.
guys.
We love you both.
We do.
Yes.
Guys, what do you say we raise our glasses and toast?
Woohoo!
Nice.
Mr. Napkin and Mr. Wright.
Hey, don't sleep on the Dr. Pepper with cream.
Ooh, wow.
With cream.
Yeah, every time I mention it, I get a free 12-pack.
That's
Wouldn't they just give you a free 12-pack anyway?
No, I get it from G. Charles.
Oh.
I don't know why he gives it to me.
Well, it was in my Pornhub search, and then I started sending me targeted ads, and it turns out this is a soda pop.
Well, what do you say we raise our glasses and toast to both to Mr. Napkin, Mr. Wright, and to Topic Free for All, SKULL-POCALYPSE.
See you assholes in court.
And there it is.
Time for a listener shout out.
Shout out.
Skull shout out.
Skull shout out. Very different than the other ones.
Larry, take it away.
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to my wonderful daughter, Kathy, who just turned 20 years old.
Hey.
And guys, this is not just a proud dad giving his daughter a shout out. I want you guys to know that she is really turned into this amazing young woman who loves monsters just as much as I do. She's
awesome.
She's so incredibly cool. And I, throughout the years, have gotten her monster gifts. I've taken her to Monster Palooza, and she has shown me so much appreciation for this stuff. And she gets really excited when I share things with her. But the other thing, guys, is she has helped me so much she's helped film my Toy Times with me, and she's
Great.
done the editing for it.
Yeah.
And so it's so great as a dad to have your daughter be into the same kind of stuff as you are, and then also help you with your productions. She's just a terrific kid. I feel like the luckiest dad in the world, and I just love her dearly, and she's just the best. And a shout out to my wonderful daughter, Kathy.
Yeah.
Larry,
Happy birthday.
Happy
Yes,
birthday.
Kathy. And Larry, you're a great dad. You've raised her so well.
Yes, you have.
Indeed.
She's like
Thanks,
a
you
little
have.
Larry. I mean, she's like, she likes all the cool stuff that you and us like. I mean, she's into it. She genuinely, it's not like
No.
I'm into this because my dad's into it. She loves it.
Look, we argue about things too. And you
Right,
guys have seen her argue, and I start
Yeah.
I start cracking up because I go, "Oh my God, I'm arguing with myself almost." And in fact, on her birthday at dinner time, we both cracked a joke and we laughed the same way, and we made this grin. And my wife just goes, "Oh, she's like a little Larry," and we started laughing. It was so funny.
You and Kathy should have your own podcast,
That's true. Yeah.
like a spin-off of Monster Party.
It should be called No with Larry and Kathy.
I don't know about that.
Perfect title.
Yeah, I know. So there's one shout out. I do have a second shout out, and it kind of involves Kathy too. I want to give a shout out to the San Francisco Ballet Company. Now, you guys are probably wondering why. Guys, the San Francisco Ballet has been a big part of my life. My parents were big fans. They had season tickets. They would take me all the time. I saw the classics like Swan Lake and Coppelia and things like that. My daughter brought up to me recently, Dad, the San Francisco Ballet is doing a production of Frankenstein. And I'm like, what? And I looked into it. We got tickets. We went to see it. It was beautiful. It was tragic. There were cool special effects. I mean, I know what you guys are wondering. A ballet of the monster? It's really cool how they did it. They didn't necessarily tell the entire story in different sets. It was kind of like a few basic sets, like in the lab that we know of is actually the classroom where Dr. Frankenstein learns about the craft. But the way they did it was so cool. They actually had a giant carriage that the monster is on, and it's lifted up in the air. You see electricity and stuff. They actually hired a guy from Hollywood for the pyrotechnics. There are pyrotechnics in this.
Cool. That's awesome.
And there were signs outside the theater that said, in this, you're going to see flashing lights. There are explosions. There's gunshots. So there were really people. This was not
And a ballet.
No. I know, Sean. I know.
That's
And the funny
great.
thing, we brought along a friend of Kathy's who had never seen a ballet before. By the end of the production, I mean, she was in tears, and it was so beautiful and tragic. The guy who played the monster was phenomenal. And the dancing was great. How you could express feelings and emotions of being rejected. It was so cool. It was mind-boggling. I know that they're going on tour. If you ever get a chance to see the production of Frankenstein as a ballet by San Francisco Ballet, I definitely think it's worth it. I think you should see it.
Cool.
So again, a shout out to the San Francisco Ballet for doing something so courageous, so different, and it was fantastic.
Nice.
That's cool.
Larry,
Yes.
why couldn't you have been my dad?
Matt,
Never mind.
No. Matt, the next time we're in San Francisco, I'm going to take you someplace special.
Oh,
Have you ever been there? Have you ever been to the War
To
Memorial?
San
Opera
Francisco?
House?
A couple times.
No. You live there, clown.
Yes.
No, I mean, have you gone to the War Memorial Opera House to see a ballet?
No, I have not.
And Matt and Larry, I would say, like, if I'm going to go to a ballet, that would be a ballet I would definitely check out for sure.
Yeah.
And John, believe me, I posted some photos.
I saw, on Facebook.
The theater is just big, gorgeous, and it's usually just this gold curtain. And for this production, you come into the theater and there's this giant skull. I mean, it was like, whoa!
I love too the idea that that monsters can permeate every aspect of art. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like something like that's cool. Like a ballet of Frankenstein, cool.
It's a really good idea to get people into ballet.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, and before anyone like says, "Oh, that seems so strange," I put a link up there. If you're curious, you can go to the San Francisco Ballet website and you can see clips of the ballet just to give you an idea,
Cool.
and it's pretty darn impressive.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
And hey, let's remind our listeners that if you haven't gotten tickets yet for Monster Palooza, well, maybe it's not too late. It's coming up in Pasadena Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 30th, 31st, and June 1st.
Right.
If you can make it out there, please come find our booth. It's booth number 386 in the Nosferatu Ballroom. Yeah, sorry, Sean. No, it's the silent Nosferatu. It's not the new one. So-
Okay, good. Okay, then I'll go. Then I'll be there.
yeah.
It's the ballet.
All right.
And hey, we podcast from there all weekend, and it's
That's
a
right.
blast. And it's our chance to get new listeners and meet up with existing friends and listeners, and it's just nonstop fun.
So fun.
Yeah, and it's a tremendous show as it is. So yeah, if you can make it out there at all, we definitely encourage it.
You'll get to meet us
That's right.
and experience the awe and mystery of Monster Party right there, happening right in front of you. The
That's right.
laughs, the tears, the insults.
And you know what else, Matt? The
Yeah.
merch. The merch, because you can find Monster Party
right.
merch at our
That's
booth,
right.
which is wonderful just to be able to see it there and touch it in person.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But
God
you know
damn, you're good.
But if you can't attend the show, well, there's good news. You can still buy Monster Party merch on our eBay store, which is called, yeah, you guessed it, Monster Party Store on eBay, where you can find Monster Party t-shirts with our glow-in-the-dark logo and our kaiju design, designed by our friend Derek Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
You can find the Monster Party shot glass. You can find the Monster Party PPE cloth mask. And last but certainly not least, the legendary Monster Party baseball cap.
Yes.
With the Monster Party logo knit in stitches that I can't even tell you how many stitches there are.
Right.
Infinite.
Infinite stitches. I gave up counting. So feel free, go to eBay, find the Monster Party store, or just type in Monster Party podcast and the merch will come up. And if you order Monster Party merch and also happen to be a Patreon member, we will throw in free surprise goodies courtesy of our good friends Jason Lindsay at Biff Bang Pow Toys and our Monster Palooza booth neighbor, Ted Haynes, a foam fabber extraordinaire.
That's right.
Two men who, unlike our topics, are mold resistant.
Now, guys, I was trying to come up with all these topics, and you know,
Yes.
Yes.
I'm worried about you, James.
Oh.
my bandwidth lately is very, very limited, and there's a lot of pressure. Okay, so I don't know how you can expect me to recall what this Patreon thing is about every second week, because it's asking a lot, frankly. So can you please refresh my memory?
You know, the sad part is someday this is going to be real. Where
Right.
just like, I can't remember what happened 2 weeks ago. Okay, but I'm going to help you out here. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, much like a semi-defective plastic Halloween skull can be used to hold the musings of petty middle-aged monster kids, Patreon holds in its classy, fully functioning internet noodle an exciting collection of Monster Party bonus content. Now we're talking exclusive audio episodes, special shows like Monster Party Masterpieces, our popular Toy Time shows, and Monster Party on the Road. We've also got behind-the-scenes convention footage, our famous Japan trip video diary, and vintage horror and sci-fi fiction edited by our resident Lyscarian, John Bordeaux, and more.
Well,
Nice.
that sounds like a skull full of fun, Matt. But I gotta say, I'm planning to buy a lot of concessions when I go to the movies next time. I'm gonna get hot dogs, junior mints, buttered popcorn. I don't know if I can afford this because those are pretty expensive. How much does it cost?
Oh, silly rabbit. For the price you would pay me to spray my body with avocado oil and jump into G. Charles Wright's popcorn, you could become a Monster Party patron. And that price is just $5. $5 a month.
What?
That's crazy. You can't order a bulk order supply of movie theater butter sticks for that price.
That's true.
No, because if you ordered butter, that would be very expensive. But what they put on
Okay.
the popcorn, maybe. No.
Well, that sounds wonderful. How would one join?
Well, all you have to do is you go to patreon.com, you go to Monster Party, you click join, you follow the instructions, and next thing you know, you'll be as happy as Shawn Sheridan walking out of Nosferatu.
And let's remind our listeners that we are on social media. We are on Facebook at Monster Party TV, YouTube at Monster Party TV, Twitter, now called X at Monster Party HQ, Instagram, also Monster Party HQ. And hey, wherever you're listening to us, please take a moment, write a review, send us your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you, and we will read your review on the air.
And we won't just read your review. No. You know what? Fuck it. We're just going to read it, okay? I mean, isn't anything we do for you people ever enough? On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Shawn Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
And have your own topic free for all.
And you know what? I'm still pissed off about Nosferatu.
Butter.
Mr. Matta, you look very sexy in that.
Thank you.
But we're ignoring, of course, the light in the room, G. Charles Wright,
So that's
Mr. G.
who's-
Charles.
who's beyond sexy.
thank you for the thank.
You know how what happened before the Big Bang? What happened before sexy? G. Charles Wright.
Right.
Thank you so much for that. Matt Weinhold. It's been so long since I've seen you. I didn't realize that you're now cosplaying as Clara Peller from the Wendy's Where's the Beef commercials.
Wait, what?
Wow. And he knew her name, too. That's
a
awesome.
deep cut.
Of course,
That's amazing.
He knows her name.
John
Yeah.
Matta is
Well,
wearing.
I worked
his
very
cap
hard
and-
at it.
It's great to see you.
Welcome back.
Great to see you as well.
both
I'm
you
so
guys,
happy you
yeah.
could do this.
Yeah.
He is 5 houses away from me.
That's
No.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's great. That'll make this
Wow.
doubly exciting. It's cool.
Wow, do you guys go back and forth borrowing cups of Tranya? Or blue milk, however you go. I don't know.
I hope you say yes. I hope you say yes.
Are
We do-
Pan-Galactic Bargle Blasters?
Well,
Oh,
we do have
wow,
a
hey.
game of 3D chess going on right now.
Hey,
Right.
can't you buy that blue milk? Isn't there
I
blue
think it's
milk
pretty
out-
easy to make, Larry.
No.
There are these
I
kits called food coloring.
No, because then it gets gross.
No, it doesn't. How are you doing it?
I want to
just-
get it at a store.
You have to go
where it's
into the future
licensed,
and buy it.
Okay, all
and
right.
It's,
go-
it's filtered.
Yeah,
it's-
go to Disneyland, pay the the full
That's it.
ticket
That's
price.
it. Yeah. Disneyland. you
Line
get
up
something
for the
like
blue
that.
milk, the real
You know
stuff.
what gets me though is it's like, okay, that
gets
blue
you, Larry?
milk. It's like, oh, it's so great. We're having blue milk. Look at that animal that they're, I mean, it's
Look at their
I don't know.
animal that they're
the animal that they're nursing to get the blue milk.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Last
a blue
Jedi.
cow.
Oh, from last. Right. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was like a walrus thing.
I don't
Some
know.
kind of
I'm
weird
not. I'm not a
creature.
dork. Okay. Which is of course a lie. But we can't get James here. I don't know what the deal is.
No,
He's
I'm here,
but he's
but
not.
I can't see myself. You can't see me. You can hear me.
Ah,
You're invisible. No, but you sound
What am
okay.
I?
You sound
What am I
good.
You
doing
sound
wrong
great.
now? What am I doing wrong now?
What you're
Is it
doing
like-
wrong is you're not turning on your camera.
Yeah.
That's
You know the
pretty
camera
much-
camera switch that says
I'm
off
trying,
and
but I'm
on?
trying to.
Try
I'm trying
on.
to. How do you?
Guys, we've only been doing this for a while. And
Oh,
look,
It's like
none-
every
none-
week he's just
every
discovered
week is
how
every
a
week is
computer
something
works.
wrong. It's like Murphy's law.
Yeah.
But as long as we can hear you, that's the most important. So,
Mr. Wright, I really like the color combinations there.
I do
You're in
too.
a really cool place. It almost
brings
looks
out
like
your
you're
eyes.
in like a vintage 50s home or something.
I am in a home built in the early 1960s.
Okay.
And so yeah, and I think whatever that display case is old because I got it from one of my great aunts.
that's cool.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, very cool.
That is nice.
I've got,
It's always kind of bittersweet when an old person in your family dies, you know? Because
yes.
it's like
It
you've
is,
been eyeing shit forever, you know, and then like,
I had
okay,
my
here we
eye
go.
on it. Well, actually, it went from my great aunt to my grandma, and then from my grandma to me. So I had to outlast two old ladies.
Wow.
To get that. Well,
If there's anything we
yeah.
if there's anything we know about you, that you can outlast old ladies.
I can outlast them. I can't.
I've seen the tapes.
And they don't understand technology, so they don't even know they're being taped.
I know, it's nice. It's like you're like a modern day Bob Crane.
Yes, I am.
Oh my
I am.
goodness.
I am. And I'm actually taping. I am actually taping.
Sure, right. You know, you want to keep that low quality feel to the tapes.
You know, maybe
Level
we
five.
should call this show Monster Party After Dark or something. You know, 'cause we're-
Not
Getting
quite yet.
sexy,
Spin-off
boys. It's
show.
getting sexy.
Yeah. How about Monster Party After 5?
That's like,
Keep with the old lady
Must
thing.
say before
see,
bedtime.
that's like
Monster Party Early Bird Special.
but the early bird is supposed to start at 4:30. Right?
Oh, all right. Well,
Oh, okay.
and that's why it's after, because after the early bird, and now the drinks are coming.
Right.
Right.
And so
Yes,
then it gets to be Monster Party, I've fallen.
Right.
And I can't get up.
But,
Well, I don't know. That I don't know.
well,
Guys, I'm gonna jump out and jump back in and see if I can figure this camera.
Okay,
out.
well,
I'll be
hopefully
right
you're not
back.
going to screw anything up by
Yeah,
doing
right,
this,
right.
James, because you sound okay right now.
Okay,
Larry,
okay.
Larry and I, when we were at Playboy and we were doing this comedy show, we had a sketch that we did, and it was called, remember the Our Time dating app where, you know, people over 50 can go and meet someone.
Remember it.
There you go.
I'm on it right now.
It works.
I'm talking to John Matta's wife on this thing right now.
Well, our version was Our Time for Anal. And
Oh my.
if you're over
Classic.
50 and you want to get into anal, and then we had actually our producer's mother do the final line of the bit, which was I've fallen for anal sex. And Larry, didn't we have your was it
My
your
father-in-law.
father-in-law say I'm riding the Hershey Highway and I love
Yes.
it.
and just really quickly. So I started working for Playboy back in like 1999. And when I started to work there, Milt, my father-in-law, would always ask me, Larry, do you have any parts for an old man? And he'd laugh.
Oops.
And as I know, Milt. And so he would say this to me year after year after year after year. And it turns out that when Matt and I were doing this production and I saw the script and went, oh my God, we need an old man. And it just so happens that my wife's parents, Milt and his wife, they were in LA visiting. And I call up my wife. I go, do you think your dad would want to do this? And she goes, are you kidding? He'll say yes without even knowing what the script is.
He said any line that we gave him. And gee, you'll appreciate this. We had casting people. We had it cast, and we
Yes.
had a bunch of older people
Professionals.
come, and they showed up, and I guess they didn't get the script or something ahead of time because they're like, oh, I'm not saying this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it took your father-in-law to save the day.
And he loved it. And it was
And he
so
knocked
funny
it out of
because
the park. He was great.
He's kind of he was an attorney, but he was also a musician and comedian. So he was like telling jokes during the whole time we were
He
there.
was terrific.
And
yeah.
and it's like we kept him for nearly an hour for to do these few lines, but he gave us the
He was
best
glorious.
reads.
Yeah.
It's funny, Matt, because yes, the two people who gave us the best reads were the non-professionals.
That's right. Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
true.
Right.
That's true.
And so just really quickly. So when Matt made that great commercial, and it was a huge hit at Playboy, So we put it on a DVD, and I gave it to my father-in-law. And so my father-in-law and his wife, they lived in a retirement community, and they would show it to specific friends.
Oh, no.
The word got out, and it was like people were just dying. They thought it was so funny, but good times. Good
So
ones.
what-
I made his. I tell you, Matt, I want to thank you for that, because after years and years, I was able to get him in a Playboy production. So
Of all things, too.
yeah.
I'm just now realizing that this podcast is called Monster Party because you guys are the monsters.
That's true. You know what?
got it,
You're
man.
not wrong. You are not wrong.
That's a 2025 joke.
Oh, is it?
All right, so where's James? Is he back in, Matt?
Well, I tell you what, before James comes, Mr. Matta has done this many times,
Oh, yes.
but just to, refresh Mr. Wright's memory, what's going to happen is before we start the show, Matt's going to do his little creepy voice, introduce kind of the show. We're going to introduce ourselves, say what the topic is, and then we're going to do an introduction for you guys, and then we're going to go to town.
Okay.
And so it's basically, I've got this skull, and I've got all the little ideas or the short,
the mini topic
mini
suggestions.
topics in here, and I'll just pull them out, and we'll read it. And thank you guys for giving some very nice questions. Thank you.
And so basically, at each turn, as your turn comes up, like G. Charles, if we say, okay, it's your turn, Larry will start. You're reaching to the thing. You just tell him when to grab one. And so and Larry will read that particular.
I will read it. I will read
thing.
it, and then
Yes.
we'll go to.
So we're all taking turns picking, but then we're all joining in to discuss that topic. And it's all like in a brief little topic. Then we'll go on to the next one.
Hopefully they're brief. Hopefully
Yes.
they're brief. Hopefully it's not,
This is a 7-part question.
Yeah, see, Mr. Napkin, none of that shit.
Mr. Unbelievable.
Do you know he makes all of our neighbors call him Mr. Napkin?
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mr. Napkin.
Respect.
Dude, you deserve it. I love your little
I've said
cartoons.
that for years.
Oh, thank you, Larry.
Yes.
Do you still make your wife steal the napkins though?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nothing's changed.
I wouldn't say he makes her steal them.
No. Oh no.
No.
nothing.
She's grabbing stuff
She has a
anyway.
problem. She has a problem
Needs the
anyway.
jazz.
I don't know how close you are to Mr. Napkin.
She doesn't even know she's grabbed them. Oh, how do these get here?
I've heard stories.
Where did all these paper napkins come from that are in my purse?
No, but
All those years as a mule, I think, really helped.
Oh dear.
hey, just
Okay,
out
there
of
we go.
curiosity, while we're waiting for James, are
He's
either of you
coming.
guys going to a Monster Palooza?
Good question. Yes.
No. When
No.
is it? When is it?
A week from this weekend.
Yeah, I won't be home I won't be home the next 2 weekends. It's funny. A neighbor of ours, Brian Miller, right? Isn't his last name Miller? G?
Oh,
Who used to run Cartoon Network. This is his first time going.
Wow, you got quite a block there of
Wow.
industry people living on your block.
Well, listen, first of all, and if this happens again, Mr. Napkin knows everybody that lives in the neighborhood, and I don't know anyone except Mr. and Mrs. Napkin.
Oh, you're that neighbor.
I don't know any of them. But John and I, John and I are very close, and we are friends. We walk our dogs together daily, and he knows everybody. And I actively try to not participate.
I get it. I get it.
I know what that's like. Sure.
Why? What's wrong with you? Don't you like people?
You know what? It's exhausting, right?
first-
It takes time.
Right.
First of all, just
it's not
because
exhausting
I'm
to
not
say
even going to
hello.
answer. I'm not going to answer that question, Larry, simply because you have expressed that brevity of answers is key going off this podcast today. So I'm not even going to get started with it.
Friendly, not familiar. That's the G. Charles Wright way with neighbors.
Right.
A lot of conversations that end with him shutting the garage door.
All right, it's great to see you. Yeah, okay, bye.
Nice.
I
Hey, James,
see.
are you there?
Yeah, I still couldn't figure out the issue. Tried troubleshooting. Sorry, you just have to see a black
That's-
screen.
That's
We
okay.
can hear you.
We can hear you okay. As long
We
as
can
you're
hear
not-
you. That's fine.
Yeah,
as
you'll
long
have
as
to
it's not going
recall
out
my face.
audio.
So yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Maybe that's for the best.
I'll put a little
Oh.
picture.
I
Yeah,
tease, of
trust
course.
me. Trust me, it is.
All right, we should start.
Oh, ever since the
Oh.
accident, he's a little
No,
strange.
it's like we've some of us here have put on a little weight.
That's not James.
COVID,
If anything, it's the Doughboys here.
James,
Larry and I.
this is the irony is not lost on me because James is the face of Monster Party. You are by far the most handsome member of this motley crew.
He's always the cute one. It's like the Beatles.
Yeah, you're the Davy. You're Davy.
You're the Davy Jones. Yeah.
I thought it was Peter Tork, but okay.
I'd like to think
I'm
of
Ringo.
myself as Mike, but I'm probably Peter.
I thought of you as Mike, Matt.
Oh, God bless you.
Really?
Yeah.
Am I Mickey?
You might be Mickey, yeah.
You might be
Maybe,
Mickey.
yeah.
Yeah. I think you're Mickey.
Mr. Wright.
Oh, boy.
Every year
Here
I
we
try
go.
to do something a little flashy for
Flashy.
Monsterpalooza, and I've got some serious bling and flash for this next one. You just wait.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Can't
my
wait.
God.
You
Wow.
just wait. I'm gonna
Angel wings and a crown, and we're
Wearing my
gonna lower you from the
sunglasses.
ceiling on a half moon.
no. There's no, and there's Angel Flights pants. Not
Oh.
Angel.
You know what,
Oh, no.
Larry? If you wear those, anything is yours. Whatever you want. Because to see you in tight Angel Flights, that's like the first page of our Monster Party calendar.
Oh, there we go.
Look,
There he is.
It's our little Davy Jones.
But now we can't hear him.
Even better. There. Classic.
Psych. Psych.
Did you just say dyke?
He did say that.
Well played, sir.
All right, let's go. We should get start going.
Well, let's
here.
go. Let's do it.
See, as you can see, Sean has places to go.
No, I just
So-
want to get going.
No, we're tired of
Leaving
all
gold on the floor, man.
It's like we're chewing the fat, sir. We're chewing the fat.
But let me.
tummy with our guests.
So
We all
Larry,
sound good, right? We all sound, okay?
great.
Testing.
Everybody sounds lovely. And so I was going to do the intros, and then Larry, could you
Yes.
then take it from there to introduce how the game works and everything?
Yes.
And we are calling this then
And the
Topic
past,
Free
too.
for All, and it's
Yes.
called Topic Free for All SKULL-POCALYPSE.
I love it. I
Okay,
love it.
All right.
And
say it again.
yeah,
Skull cop. What?
so not
instead of
Skull-Pocalypse.
Apocalypse. Apocalypse. Just take the off of apocalypse and put
There you go.
skull.
There you go.
I have to write it out phonetically here. Skull
Okay.
apocalypse.
I'm just glad we're working this out now.
Yes. You don't want to. That's why people rehearse, right, Mr. Wright? That's why. People
That's
rehearse.
from when I was in show business. That's what they used to say.
You are still doing your
You're
your
still,
class,
yeah,
right?
Are you in still show business?
Is
Okay.
anyone really
Is
in
there
show
show
Well,
business?
that's a very good. That's a very
Yeah.
good point,
Okay.
Mr. T.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you still doing your class?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, all right, good. Great. All right. So why don't we do this?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
All right. Moment of silence,
Oh,
and we'll get right to it.
so we're gonna go for maybe about like
5 hours.
no. Oh yes, Mr. Hey, let's get going. I'm thinking maybe 70, 80 around there, kind of a thing.
Not 1 second longer.
No, I'm just be flexible.
No.
Just
Sure.
Let's not be flexible.
okay.
And Larry, too, I want you to give us a little bit of background about the
Yes.
leftover topics and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff,
Oh,
too.
believe it or not, like we have 4.
Great, fantastic.
Oh, I'll fill you guys in.
Okay.
Okay. So here, let's do it here. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna wait for a plane to go by. Which
Damn
is only in my head.
There was no plane coming by. You're saying you're going to wait until a plane goes by.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I wasn't clear on how that
See,
works.
because I do Foley after the show, and I don't have a plane effect.
I did Foley once after a show. Napkin knows this story, Dave Foley. And
How was he?
he was drunk. I don't think I will. And over 50 and very eager to try anal.
Full circle.
Interesting.
Yin and
Interesting.
yang.